You're just gonna leave that on the table?
What?
So you expect me to walk in here
Mm-hmm.
to have a conversation about my mental health, and you put this there, and you don't expect me to be like, oh, great, you're trying to put Thanos' big purple penis in my mind.
I see. You're right. Oh, sorry. I'll put it over here.
So great, now I'm thinking of Thanos' dick next to you.
I'm also wearing, like, kind of purple pants.
Oh, God.
They're burgundy-ish. I don't know how they show up. They look... The color grading on this webcam that we filmed the podcast on is not lovely.
Yeah.
But I don't give a fuck. It's a fucking podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Do you expect high quality from a podcast? Especially one of ours?
Yeah.
Come on. It's been 2 years. The 2-year anniversary was on the 29th. So, isn't that special?
Yeah.
Last week's episode was the 2-year anniversary episode.
Isn't that special? Well, now we got to do the real 2-year anniversary.
This week?
No, whatever fucking episode was my
episode
first.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so next week.
Yeah, that's the real important one.
That's the real important one. It's the Ian's 2-year anniversary. Anyway, guys, it's the Media Hole Podcast, the weekly podcast in which me and Ian talk about all sorts of things in the entertainment and news sphere.
I always thought it was like a dodecahedron.
I fucking hate you. You think it's a 20-sided shape that news comes on?
Yeah, every single like little fucking hexagon. Is that 8?
Hexagon, it has 6 sides.
What's 8? Octagon.
Yeah.
8 awesome sides. You've seen that video, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Jack Black was on fucking Sesame Street 20 years ago, it feels like now. And he talked about the shape of a stop sign.
Yeah.
And Jack Black was being Jack Black the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone went and made like a YouTube poop Nightcore remix of it, where it's like Jack Black flies like a butterfly, and like a lot of him is going like, 8 awesome sides.
That's great.
Yeah, it's a classic one.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, I just think like there's only 20 important subsections of news, and so they each get their own little octagon. That's all.
I see.
Go on about the news.
I don't know.
Dodecahedron.
Yeah, news dodecahedron. It's much like a D&D dice. Is a fact. Let's see here. So let's go through what's popping. First off, we got the first trailer for the Bubba Tea Feet.
I didn't even look at it.
I watched it.
Is it worth looking at? Because honestly,
for me,
I don't care.
For me, I watched it and I was like, sure, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay?
It looks like The Mandalorian, but more.
Is Jon Favreau also involved?
I don't know.
Or does he just get that executive producer cred?
I'm sure he gets the executive producer credit. I haven't looked too much into this because I didn't finish season 2 of Mandalorian. So I saw the trailer and was like, oh, Boba Fett's taking over Jabba the Hutt's crime lord style vibes. His empire. Excuse me. So yeah. The Book of Bubba Feet. It's coming out later this year or next year or whatever.
Well, you know what else just happened?
What?
So we didn't write down a lot. I'm on Twitter right now.
Mm-hmm.
Notable Marvel Studios Black Panther star Letitia Wright.
Oh, more of her anti-vax shit?
No,
I'm guessing?
it says that she's the Black Panther sequel production has been paused because of an onset injury, but I'm not seeing what this onset injury is, and I was really hoping that it was just she got COVID.
Yeah, that's fucked up. It's like post-COVID. It's like, oh, she's anti-vax. That's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's literally just like the same Variety link 5 times, not telling me what the injury is.
Okay,
but I'm sure it's like, oh no, my ankle.
Yeah. That's fucking weird, dude. Okay, what about the Spy Family trailer?
Yeah, it's great.
Does it look good?
It looks awesome. Did you not watch it?
Who's doing it? I didn't watch it.
Cloverworks.
Oh, right. It's Clover and another one.
Yeah, because Cloverworks is a smaller studio.
Yeah.
It looks great. It looks it had like there's just a lot of like real like movie quality anime coming out now.
That's cool.
And which for like, you know, for some studios bad.
Yep.
Such as Mappa.
Yeah.
But for like Cloverworks is putting out some fucking anime like movie quality shit.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least that's what Spy X Family looks like. It's got nice.
It's actually Spy Family like Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, I know, but it's stupid.
I saw an alignment chart.
Well, I wouldn't say that because Hunter x Hunter is actually Hunter. Like if you spell it out, it's Hunter with the X Hunter, no spaces.
Yeah.
Spy X Family is Spy space X space Family.
From what I was told, I saw an alignment chart of the X's in Japanese titles, and so like sometimes X is pronounced X, and that's like Gundam X, After War Gundam X, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's pronounced Cross, like Cross
Spy
Tekken,
Cross Family.
or like Cross Tekken, or like Project Cross Zone, or the cross button on the fucking PlayStation controller, which is stupid because everybody just calls it the X button.
Also, crosses are notably not diagonal.
Well, they call X cross in Japan.
Yeah, because
it's a British thing also.
Well, yeah, but also like those are all in Japan. Those are all symbols.
Yeah.
But to us, the X is a part of our alphabet.
Yeah.
It's not a part of Japan's alphabet.
True.
So that could also be the logic.
Then there's like silent, which it says for Hunter x Hunter and Spy Family, and then there's Key for Kingdom Hearts. The Keyblade, which is different from the Keyblade. There's the Keyblade and the Keyblade.
Is the Keyblade spelt with an X?
So there's the Keyblade and then the Keyblade that's spelled with an X.
Is it spelled XI blade?
No, it's an X hyphen blade.
But it's a Keyblade.
Keyblade.
That's fucking stupid.
Because it's key.
Like
Some people say Kai.
I know, like, you know,
but it's key.
You know, everyone knows I'm not a fucking fan of this bullshit at all. That's the fucking stupidest.
No, because it's like poetry, Ian. It rhymes.
No, it doesn't.
Because you need to fuse.
You can't rhyme the word key with key. That's not how it works.
Yeah, but it's like key, like
You're like that one dude in that fucking like Lil Wayne song. It's not a Lil Wayne song. It was like Young Money.
Yeah.
Like the entire label. They all got together and did like a 1 minute bit. So it was like Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, 3 other rappers I can't remember. I think Drake was involved in it as well. And there's a guy who's like, I can't say the N-word, grocery bag, and that's the end. And it's like, why did you say that?
Yeah. No, but
that doesn't rhyme, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You can't keep it. It's not. It doesn't rhyme.
I meant like in a George Lucas way. Like that's what I was quoting.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Because it's like there's like a whole thing about it. It's like there's a very deep lore reason, but it's also funny.
Was that actually a good quote at the time, or like did it make sense when George Lucas said it?
Well, he was saying how like episode 1's kind of like episode 4.
I don't think so.
They rhyme. There's like echoes throughout it.
I don't think so at all. I think he's totally wrong there.
I mean, there's elements of episode 1 that are very similar to episode 4.
The desert planet?
Yeah, the fucking almost everything that happens there.
I don't think so. What pod racing section is in episode 4?
Pod racing is supposed to rhyme with the Death Star Trench.
The Death Star Trench happens at the end of the movie.
The pod racing happens 2/3 of the way through.
Yeah, somehow. That movie feels so long.
That movie, yeah. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying that's what George Lucas is trying to do. He's like, you know, I'll give you this. He at least came up with new shit.
I guess.
He didn't do the literal same thing again. He was like, well, we're going to do pod racing, and like we're going to do some stuff with it that's like, you know, both Anakin and Luke use the Force for this first time, like not on purpose while doing their flying thing.
Okay, sure.
Anyway, yeah, and then I think there was another thing as well. Oh yeah, it was Guilty Gear X. Is apparently you're supposed to call it Guilty Gear X. So it had Zex for Guilty Gear Zex.
So does that mean that Guilty Gear...
Yeah. No.
Is Sexert?
There's Guilty Gear X is different... Or, sorry... Guilty Gear Zex is different from Guilty Gear Exard.
Isn't the XX double cross?
Yep.
God fucking damn it. Guilty Gear X, and then its sequels.
No. It's
Guilty Gear double cross.
Guilty Gear Zex. Guilty Gear double cross. And then Guilty Gear Exard Sign.
Yeah.
And then Guilty Gear
Exard
Revelator.
And then Exard Revelator 2.
No, it's just Exard Rev 2.
Yeah, sure.
That's what it says on the front. It doesn't even say Revelator.
And then we got Strive.
Which is a better name. But there's hyphens around the word Strive.
I would say that's more of just a hey, focus on this thing. But Guilty Gear Strive .
Yeah. But yeah, so apparently Spy Family is Spy Family. But
yeah, so Spy X Family, it's really movie quality. Then you got the guys who made fucking the studio that for the last 30 years is making the Pokemon anime is the people who were doing Comey Can't Communicate.
Oh.
Which also has movie quality bullshit in it.
That's good.
It's pretty much, you know what it is? I think it's just that anime studios are finally figuring out how to do good lighting.
Mm-hmm.
Atmospheric lighting instead of just, hey, you're in a classroom, there's incredibly harsh lighting on you. It doesn't matter if you're next to the window, there's no shadows, or the shadows only show up in one scene and for a top one.
It's always cool when you see really good lighting in an anime, especially older ones.
That's what's happening more now. Is even Jujutsu Kaisen has really good lighting. Demon Slayer had some pretty good ones.
Yeah, well, Demon Slayer has that whole cool painterly aspect to it.
And they also have really good light sources. When Tanjiro first uses the breath of the sun, and he has the fire blade, it the light comes you can see that there's a good fucking soft light coming off of the blade.
But when's Tanjiro gonna inevitably fuck his own sister?
I don't know, but I said this one fucking tweet to my friend the other day around Halloween. Mm-hmm. That was this guy dressed up in shitty man version of Halloween where it's just I just threw on a shirt. He had Tanjiro's fucking kimono thing just on his shoulders, and then he was shirtless. He didn't have anything else to he didn't do the tattoo. He didn't get fake earrings or anything. Okay. But his girlfriend is in full fucking Nezuko cosplay.
Yeah.
And it's they made the tweet. It's oh, bro, she's my demon, and they're making out. And it's bro, this is people who dress up as Jon Snow and Daenerys.
Well, at least Jon Snow and Daenerys fuck in the show.
Yeah, and also at least it's you didn't know for quite a while.
Yeah, but also they at least fuck in the show.
Yeah, where the Demon Slayer, those are siblings.
I mean, you never know with anime.
I finished the series. They are siblings.
Okay, good.
They don't fuck at the end.
Yeah, I was going to say, not that they're not siblings. I wasn't saying that the twist wouldn't be that they're not siblings. I'm saying, my little sister can't be this cute is 10 years old, Ian.
Yeah, and you know what's also fucking stupid about that show?
What?
He ignores his childhood friend for his little sister.
Yeah, he fucks
fucking
his sister.
Idiots. You dumb motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. The childhood friend never wins.
Okay. What did you fucking expect in a show called My Little Sister Can't Be This Cute?
Nothing, because I didn't watch it.
Yeah, but if you were I really want him to date the girl who's not his sister.
Yeah, see, that's at least the only good thing.
It's not called, man, I want to fuck my sister, but this other girl's way cooler.
That's the one good thing about Rental Girlfriend. It's none of those girls he knew before the age of 19.
Yeah,
or what was it? Oh, the fucking Nisekoi. It turns out as the whole premise of the show is the main character, who is the son of a Yakuza family, gets engaged to the daughter of a Yakuza family to end a war that's going on.
Okay.
But he says, I can't do it because I have this key, and there's a girl I have a childhood crush on who might be this other girl named Onodera, that the only way that the only person he will marry is his childhood friend. Mm-hmm. But
turns out they're the same girl.
Onodera, the blonde girl from the Yakuza family, and every other girl that shows up in this harem is his childhood friend. This guy had he had 7 girls that he was friends with when he was young, and he just forgot about them, but vaguely remembered that he made this promise to one of them. So it's actually the childhood friend does win, but doesn't win.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the childhood friend in Comey is genderqueer, and also is used for comedy, and kind of just simultaneously at the beginning it's oh yeah, no, it's good. This is a genderqueer character. You don't know what their gender is, and that's good. And then it's you don't know what their gender is, so we're gonna make fun of them the whole time.
Oh
yeah, and it's you were so close.
Yeah.
Well, not make fun of them, but just always have comments where it's what's its genitalia, and it's relax. Because the introduction of the character is
pretty well done, but then everything after sucks ass.
It's just a person who has every single person in the entire show except for Comey was this person's childhood friend, and they have a schedule packed full of hanging out with their childhood friends.
Oh
yeah, but then the joke is that they have never considered their gender and all that. So to various people it's you're a boy, why are you wearing a skirt? And then the girls are oh no, but that they're a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just go gender doesn't concern me much. But then as the manga goes on, it's oh, this character's still here, and then it's oh, time to go. The editor said, wouldn't it be funny if you just really wondered if there was a penis under that skirt? It's no, not really.
It doesn't really matter. It's not really any of
they're
the main characters, nor the audience's.
Yeah, they're not a romantic
business.
Contender, so they're there for comedy,
mm-hmm.
but not to be the butt of the joke. So why does it matter?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's still a base show. That's just the one gripe I have, and it's very small. It was a couple chapters they did it out of 400.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel Comey Can't Communicate has a really just easy porn name, which is Cummy Can't Communicate.
Cummy Can't Communicate.
Two cum puns in one fucking porno title.
She wants to have sex, but she doesn't understand.
But I'm coming all the time.
No, it's NTR, and she wants to have sex with Tadano, but she can't because they don't have sexual compatibility. So then she goes and fucks the big dick Chad.
Just every other character.
Yeah, and she has compatibility with every other one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Every other dude, and also Tadano has a normal sized penis, but every other guy has mega cock.
Here's my
NTR member, guys.
Here's my pitch though.
Yeah.
She has a romantic connection with the guy. She loves him and he loves her, and it's
just cuck.
It's fully fine.
It's just actually what
he's fine with it.
Yeah, he's a cuck, and that he's a cuck in the classical sense where it's my wife.
I enjoy it.
In the classical sense, is my wife
cheats on me.
My wife cheats on me, and I'm too stupid to.
He has a cuck fetish.
Yeah, I fucking this. Every single time I see it,
mm-hmm.
It's brought up somewhere. It's always with NTR and shit.
Yeah,
it turns into the wife getting fucked in front of her husband, going his dick is better than yours, and the husband crying and jerking off his small peen. And I'm just God, the art's so good, but I hate this last page. That I always describe NTR is cuckoldry with malice.
Yeah,
it's hate. The only time if it's cucking shit where it's oh, the wife just cheats on her husband and he doesn't know. It's
mm-hmm.
NTR when she reveals it by telling him he's a worthless piece of shit.
Mm.
And I keep trying to have this argument with Gavin. He gets mad at me every time. He's stop bringing up NTR. You know I hate it. And I'm it's because you're a coward.
Yeah. I want Ben Shapiro to get NTR.
Oh man, it'd be so sick. Did you see that his sister is pregnant?
His sister?
Yeah, Abigail Shapiro.
Oh yeah,
the one who had huge tits,
and
then she got them reduced, and they're still huge, but her back doesn't hurt anymore. She went and did 17 weeks. It's my baby's the size of a pomegranate, and the first, but then it was this whole paragraph. It's it was just I loved it when my husband came in me. My husband did big comes inside of my body, and that's why I'm pregnant. it was like breeder logic and shit. But then the next tweet below, when it says my baby's the size of a pomegranate, was a dude eating a pomegranate. Like sloppily, not like a guy who's like picking the seeds out and going like, ooh. It was a guy going like,
I know exactly the picture you're talking about. Usually that picture is when people are talking about fucking eating a girl out. Yeah.
Eating a girl out while she's on her period. That's gotta leave red stains everywhere.
I wouldn't know. I could not confirm nor deny. But yeah.
Anyway, so back to the original point. Spy X Family is going to be one of the best shows of the coming year, but unfortunately, like, when's it say it's coming out? It says 2022, right? I think
JoJo comes out in December.
Chainsaw Man also, I think, comes out in December.
I think it's coming out soon. I don't know if it's coming out in December.
Well, regardless, if JoJo and Chainsaw Man count as 2021 animes, and Spy X Family counts as 2022, Spy X Family's got the best anime of the year for 2022.
The Uzumaki anime is coming out next year.
Don't care.
Fuck you.
No, Uzumaki has had like 5 different shows now, and every single time...
It has not.
Yes, it has.
No, it's gotten 1 live action film.
I don't think so.
Google it. No, yeah. It got 1 live action movie, and that's it. There was the fucking Junji Ito collection show, which sucked ass.
You know what? That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, but that didn't have anything from Uzumaki.
Anyways, I stick to what I said.
That it won't be better?
What, that Uzumaki won't be better than Spy Family?
Yeah.
Spy Cross Family? Yeah. Like, short story, but Nathan, they're shorts. They're short, interconnected stories.
Uzumaki?
Yeah.
Well, it's a manga. It's like a series. It's not like his short stories. It's a series.
It's a series where it's just weird shit.
It's got a protagonist. Like, there's a girl and her boyfriend, and
then she gets a spiral through her face at some point.
Things happen to people. Like, it's around her, but like she becomes involved with most of the stories.
I would still say Spy X Family.
Yeah, but you haven't read Uzumaki.
I've read the Slug Boy one. That's it.
Yeah, that's just one.
And
there's lots. So,
does it have a woman that kills people?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
as
probably.
As an assassin?
No.
Then fuck you. Does it have a little girl that has the ability to read minds?
Probably. I think so.
That was one.
I think something might have that.
Yeah.
That seems plausible.
Does it have a spy man who's just really good at makeup and that's literally a superpower?
No, because that's not a thing that would...
Spy X Family.
Uzumaki takes place in a more realistic world than Spy Family.
What? Spy Family also does the whole, like... God, I don't know what came up with this concept first, but I always think of Archer, which is the whole... What time period does this take place in? Yes.
You could argue Hyper Time predates Archer doing that.
Sure, yeah. But, like, Archer is just the thing I can think of that's, like, you know...
Yeah.
People have seen Archer, where Hyper Time is a concept, or Archer is an example.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, shit. In the office of Archer, they're on, like, fucking DOS computers. They got, like, the green text and shit. They just, like, have to type stuff in. But then it's, like, Archer has a cell phone, and they have, like, drones with, like, modern technology. But then the whole also be, like, driving... Like, all the cars are fucking old.
I would say that, like... Series of Unfortunate Events did that, too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, like, Spy X Family, it does more of, like, a East-West Berlin thing going on.
Ooh.
But, like, obviously, like, a fake, like, version of it.
Oh, it's not actually...
But it's, like, it's straight up Germany.
Oh, okay.
Like, the guys... the guy doesn't have a real name. His name is Agent Twilight.
Wow, he's like, what a fucking chuny.
And his but his fake name he is given is Lloyd Folger. Your last name is Forger, bro. His daughter's name is Anya.
Anya Dick.
Yeah, she's like 4.
Well, I haven't read the book yet.
And
I can make that joke.
Oh fuck, I can't remember what his wife's name is. I'm blanking. That's fucked.
Is it Candace?
Candace Dick for your mouth. Oh, and but then it also turns out and they also have a dog named Bond.
Wait, hold on. His wife's name is Yor.
Yeah.
Your mama?
Yeah, your mama. Her name is Yor Breyer, and she has a brother named Yuri. But the thing is she thinks her brother is like a guy who just works at like City Hall or whatever.
Yeah.
Her brother is straight up a member of like the secret police.
Ooh.
Who like arrest. But it's like it's coming from a perspective where it's like it's not a race thing. It's a patriotism thing. He's the bad guy.
Yeah.
He's a bad guy. Like, it's not like they're being like, oh, is he good or is he bad? It's like, no, he straight up, like, tortures an innocent man for information in, like, the first panel he's in.
Well, like, most secret polices, it's not really about, right? It's about enacting fascism on people.
Yeah, so, like, Lloyd works for, I think, the other side, and I think he works for the East, and he's invaded into the West to try and meet up with this one guy who I don't know. He just needs to fake a relationship with him, so he needs to adopt a daughter, and then get the kid to be super smart and have them get super high up in this fucking like prestigious school. Like literally the route is you're going to become a dad to this daughter, and the daughter has to go make friends with this boy, and then so that you can be friends with his dad. It's like sending your kid to like a fucking Ivy League prep school so you can meet a football player.
Nice.
And then he marries Yor because he needs to look like a perfect family. And so is
Yor also a spy?
She does not know. He thinks of her as just this woman he meets on the street who is like this bumbling idiot who works at City Hall. Like, as, like, a secretary, like a fucking, I don't know. Her job is to go get things for people.
Right.
I don't know what her, like, she just wore, like, standard office attire and walks around. But turns out that is her cover. She is actually an assassin for another organization, and she goes and kills people, and she's, like, she uses, like, needles. She's called, like, the Thorn Princess or something.
That's a terrible name.
Yeah. I don't know. Japan.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, look, she's super powerful, but she's a princess. So then they get together. They were 50 chapters deep in the manga, or at least that's where I've read to. I think there's like 54 chapters out. Fell behind a bit. And Lloyd and her don't know about each other yet. Oh. But since Anya, their daughter, their adopted daughter, has ESP.
She knows about both of them.
She knows about both of them. And actually, that's kind of where a lot of the comedy is her reading her parents' mind and thinking about what they are talking, because she doesn't get the images. She gets what they're talking about, so then she puts it together in her mind. She always misunderstands.
Do the parents fuck?
No. They get, like, really close. It's one of those, like, this is
annoying
fake.
Japanese things?
Yeah, or it's like a fucking fan fiction trope almost, where it's like, we have to act like we're married, and then they fall in love. It's very.
I thought it would be a bit more Mr. and Mrs. Smith. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. A little bit more.
That would be cool.
Sexy.
People tried when I first was reading the manga. That's what people were trying to say, that it was like Japanese Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and I was like, absolutely not.
There is no sex.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith are two people who fuck and are married, but don't know they're secret agents trying to kill each other, and then when they find out, they immediately try and kill each other.
They're doing a new version of it, eh?
Yeah.
They announced it last year. Yeah, it's going to be Donald Glover and Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Oh yeah. That would be good.
Yeah, it's going to be fun and sexy, and that's all it needs to be.
Yeah.
We can have sexy fun times.
Just like Donald Glover being like American Black James Bond, and then everyone be like, ooh, a black man being a secret agent? Oh, he's too noticeable because he's not a basic white guy that we all act like is super hot.
Mine's more like, man, why are you working for the secret agent government when they treat black people so bad?
He's like,
is usually my question for everything like that, where it's like, that's why Kingsman's good, because they're not part of the government.
Yeah. Oh man, I was not super down for Kingsman.
Yeah. The original,
the one that's coming out, but after, I don't know, just the trailer this time it hit me, and I'm like, I want to see this movie.
Oh, when we saw it, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good.
I don't like that it looks like Rasputin is the villain.
Why?
Because Rasputin is very cool based on that Boney M song.
I mean, it is a good song.
Yeah.
They fucking lost their chance to put that song in the fucking trailer.
They did, yeah.
Like, it's a movie that has Rasputin.
You know what? I bet it's too obvious.
Like, it's a bit too on the nose?
It's a bit too on the nose, but I bet it's in the movie.
You think so?
Yeah. I just think, it kind of sucks.
It's like sometimes it is good to be a bit
Kingsman,
too on the
the
nose.
Golden Circle just sucked so much.
I don't think it sucked. Okay, it just wasn't that good.
It wasn't as good as the first movie.
It was just okay.
Yeah, man, it's cool that you destroyed the whole agency because you're like very easily routing out all the corruption and like writing that off. Yeah. But you killed like the one female character who was like not trying to fuck the main character and was like a good, like just a friend, and you killed her off.
Yeah.
And his dog
off screen.
Yeah,
that's what was
and then
really
also
wrong
killing
about
fucking Mark Strong at the end of the movie.
I thought that was all right.
I just didn't like it. I liked him a lot.
Oh yeah, I liked him a lot, but like I get it. Like it gives the movie a bit more stake. You want to have somebody die, but like it was stupid to kill her off screen. Like, yeah, well, she was important in the last movie. It was on
screen of like her moment when she's okay.
She's like on the phone. Off screen.
She's on the phone and she like looks forward and she sees the missile coming right at her.
Yeah.
Then the house blows up. And it's like, oh great.
And it doesn't get addressed that much. And then there's like
he points a gun at Mark Strong and accuses him of doing it.
Yeah.
And then it's like he's like, my friend is dead. My other friend is dead. Like fuck you. And then he's like, it wasn't me. And they're like, cool, let's go to the America and go hang out with our American cousin.
Mm-hmm. I liked that it was like, being addicted to drugs is not bad.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I liked that the whole like the president going like, we won the war on drugs, and like his like secretary being like, you're a fucking monster. Yeah. You're a piece of shit because she smokes weed.
Yeah,
yeah, and
because it's like everyone who does drugs is gonna die, and the president's like, "Who fucking cares?"
Yeah,
this is a non-issue.
Mm-hmm. I just think it's just a weaker movie. It felt like
it's a much weaker movie.
They were trying to recapture the magic from the first Kingsman.
First Kingsman is so good.
Yeah, but it's like I felt like they tried to do that fucking
first
like
time.
It's like they tried to do their own church scene, but like 3 different times.
Yeah.
It's like every fight they gave, it's like, oh, we're going to try and score this to music, including the final one.
I think
where they did like fancy camera work, but it's still like the cool thing about the fucking thing in the first one is it's one guy in a battle royale killing everyone who comes near him. But then in Kingsman 2, it's like
he's fighting the robot dogs.
What?
He's fighting the robot dogs.
He's fighting robot dogs. He's fighting.
Like I thought that was a really well done shot. It's less cool. Like I think it was really cool. It's just not as cool.
It would be cooler if Kingsman 1 did not exist.
Yeah, exactly.
That's about it. And hopefully with Kingsman 2, where they're just going back in time and being like, yeah, you know how like in Kingsman 1 when all the Kingsmen were like the same white guy, now we have a black dude, who was the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah.
And then he's also in A Quiet Place Part 2 as a loving father. And he's also the villain of Fast and Furious 7. I can never remember that guy's name, but God, he is in a lot of things.
Yeah.
And then we also have a woman. She's not it doesn't look like she's a Kingsman, but she is a very important member of the team.
Yeah, this one's called The Kingsman, and it's a prequel, and then they're going to do a third one, I think.
Yeah.
Like a threequel back with the Eggsy.
That's fine. Also, I didn't like how they ended with him becoming like a lord in like his girlfriend's
country.
Yeah, I think they should have broken up.
I thought that was funny though.
I think it's also a good break on the whole. Like it's a very Austin Powers fucking thing where it's like Austin Powers actually marries the Bond girl at the end.
Yeah.
Where James Bond is always just like, she's gone.
Yeah.
We fucked a few more times and then I left her and then like now I'm gonna go fuck other ladies and they're never gonna return. But like in Kingsman, it's like, well, he's not James Bond.
Yeah.
He does love this woman. They do get married.
Yeah.
He fucked her in the ass at the end of the movie because he saved her life, and then they
fell in love.
Yeah,
which is cute. I think that was a good bit. But yeah, definitely the first one's a much better movie. The second one was the first time Matthew Vaughn ever did a sequel to any movie he directed. And this one is still also Matthew Vaughn. So who knows if this is still going to be good? But Matthew Vaughn has made a lot of great stuff.
He definitely does action very well.
Yeah. Well, he did Kingsman, Kick-Ass 1.
He didn't do Kick-Ass 2?
No.
Well, because Kick-Ass 1's a good movie and Kick-Ass 2 is not.
He did...
There's no Nick Cage.
He did X-Men First Class.
Great
which
movie.
is probably like the best X-Men with the word X-Men in its title.
Are you trying to say Wolverine is better?
No, I'm trying to say Logan's better because the word X-Men is in the title of X-Men Origins Wolverine.
No, but there's Wolverine.
The Wolverine.
Yeah, the one in Japan.
That one's fine.
What?
That one's just fine.
I fucking hated it.
Really?
I literally fell asleep watching it.
It's funny. That's the same director as Logan and writer.
He did a really good job with Logan. He did not do a good job with the Wolverine.
That's funny. I remember the Wolverine was just like it was all right. It wasn't bad like the previous one.
Well, like with Logan, I had a genuine. It's like
Logan's
I had
Logan's
an interest with every other one of them. But the Wolverine, I was just like, I literally threw it on because I'm like, it's a movie. It's an X-Men movie. It's a Marvel X-Men, whatever. Yeah. It's a comic movie I have not seen yet. Let's go watch it. I'm bored. Turn it off and went to bed.
Yeah. So I think First Class is probably the best X-Men movie.
Yeah.
Like you can talk about the Deadpool and Logan movies separately, but in terms of X-Men, I think First Class is the best.
Terms of it being an ensemble cast,
like
X-Men
a team
First
movie,
Class is the best one. There is one unfortunate part of that movie, and that's it.
It's that Darwin dies.
Absolutely.
Which is stupid. Yeah, that's stupid. I think the movie as a whole is great.
Yeah.
Some people say Days of Future Past is better. I personally prefer...
Days of Future Past is not better, but it is close.
Yeah, I would say I personally prefer First Class because it's just like really well done. Like everything in it almost just like works really well. Whereas I think there's parts of Days of Future Past that don't quite work.
Days of Future Past
has it's a cool movie.
The Quicksilver scene.
That scene
and that elevates that entire movie.
That scene's fucking
But
great.
then X-Men First Class has the fucking Holocaust sequence at the beginning. Like, that's great.
Yeah. Like the scene where Magneto kills all those Nazis in South America is great. Dude.
Yeah, it's like it's like literally...
He picks up the knife and stabs the guy through like a few times.
It's like Magneto in X-Men First Class
He's not so well written.
He's not an anti-human person yet. He's just like
he's like a dark, sad man.
He's a fucking survivor of the Holocaust who had fucked up shit done to him because just even though he was Jewish, he did have like superior genes and was left alive by Kevin Bacon's character.
Yeah.
But like he holds a regret because one, they killed his mom.
Yeah.
They did a whole bunch of fucked up shit to him. Like, the man
they didn't reuse the shot from the first X-Men, which has the same sequence. They actually painstakingly recreated the shot from X-Men 1 where he's like being torn away and like pulling the metal gate at Auschwitz.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like painstakingly recreated that for First Class. They didn't reuse the same shot. So that they could have the same actor like do the later scenes with Kevin Bacon's character, who is the leader of the Hellfire Club, Sebastian Shaw. Yeah.
Yeah. Kyle just messaged me about a car.
Oh, okay.
Because he got an opportunity. I don't know, something with him right now where like he could get like an 07 Saturn Astra. Which I had in 08. I love that car. I wish I still had it. Mm-hmm. That was like but mine was one sport version.
Okay.
Because it was from my uncle, and it was like even though he was rich,
and two, it was extremely fucked up at one point.
Yeah, because the door fucked up. The door handle broke all the time.
Well, that the car that we took to Canadian Tire and they said legally?
No, that was a different car.
Okay,
that was a different car.
I thought that was that car.
No, the Saturn Astra was a perfectly drivable car. It passed all emissions tests. But the problem with it is that it caught on fire. The coolant, there's the oil tube and the coolant tube.
How did you not tell me this?
I thought I told you.
No,
it did not catch on fire. I'm not being that literal.
Okay,
but it I was on my way home from work. I was like getting off at the Air Mills Parkway exit on the 401 because my house was near there, and black smoke started coming out of my hood. And I pulled over. Went to like that parking lot near there, and I opened up my hood, and it was just smoking. And I'm like, "There's no fire. It's my engine overheated because I had a problem. I knew this existed. It was just something I was fixing every few months.
Yeah,
where the
coolant,
the oil was leaking into the coolant, and it was corroding the coolant tube. so that coolant stopped flowing through it as smoothly. So it got to a point where that's death throes.
That's
You either replace the entire engine,
or you die in the car,
or you three options: die in the car, replace the entire engine, and fucking
just scrap it.
Yeah, but the car was so old. GM doesn't exist. Like GM hardly exists anymore.
Yeah,
Saturn doesn't exist. They don't make parts for that car. Those parts were incredibly like specific. So you had to like go to my mechanic to get the parts for me was like calling junkyards. Like you can't just replace them with a lot of shit. So like I just like honestly, great car, fun, best drive I've ever had. Like I could hit like fucking, I could get to 100 and like flooring it. I never went over 4,000 RPM. Like actually foot like really far down. It was great, but there's no parts for it, and it's expensive. I had to fucking replace the alternator like 3 months after I got it.
Yeah, I would probably tell Kyle not to get that car just simply because it's old and it's hard to get parts. And like the older a car, the like harder it is to get parts.
Yeah,
and like the more often you'll need them. Because it's old, and so it's like going to break down more frequently the older it is.
He says he only needs it for like 6 months, so I'm just going to ask like how much.
Yeah,
because I got that car, I bought it for $500.
Yeah, so I was going to say like if you can get it for like $400,
I literally went to my uncle. I had to, because he lives in fucking across Toronto.
Yeah,
I took the Go bus to Union, got on the train, went out towards that direction.
Yeah.
And he picked me up from there, and then we went to the Service Ontario together. I got my plates. I handed him $500 cash.
Yep.
And then I drove the car home. Like, I gave him an extra $350 for the winter tires, which is good because I needed the winter tires for the rest of the time I had that car.
Yeah.
Because my mechanic was like, "I'm not putting the other tires back on, bro." Shit.
Because they were fucked up.
They were bald.
Oh yeah.
Because my uncle, like, he bought like a pickup truck. Like, he had the car for like 5 years, and then he just gave it to his kids to drive. So they drove it a bunch, and then he like never bought more tires. Anyways, on to some more news.
Yeah. Ubisoft just came out that they're going to make NFT/blockchain video games instead of fixing their company-wide culture of sexual harassment. Because in case you don't know, there are a bunch of Ubisoft employees that have like done, I don't know if it's a walkout or just a petition or something. Because that's still a problem. Also, EA is going to make NFT games. Also, I think Square Enix said they would too, which is like fucking dumb. Yeah. Who wants a fucking NFT video game? Isn't that just basically a digital game? Like, what makes that any different than... Like, what about it? I don't understand. Can you explain this to me, what a fucking NFT video game is, even? Like, a blockchain... It's a game...
They've actually done games like this before. They just don't have the fucking, like... It was... What the way people did it in the past was just, hey, here's a shitty Unity game we made, but we're only selling, like, 200 copies of it for, like, $5. Which is like nothing. But then the thing is with through NFTs, instead of
you have specific ownership of.
Yeah, they would require you to have your blockchain fucking like thing on it. Like it would have to be tethered to something to say like, do you still own this?
It would have to, and then you could sell it and then not access it digitally anymore, unless you cloned it. So it's just a digital video game that like has DRM. Effectively.
It's DRM, but
dumb.
Your DRM. So it's going to be a bunch of people who buy it, one person who buying it getting hacked, and then someone ripping the files and making the game playable without DRM, like they do with every fucking game.
Yeah.
And also, like, there is AAA titles who have their DRM ripped out in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to stop this, and it's going to be fucking the same joke. I follow this Twitter account called Crypto Bros Taking L's.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Mm-hmm. Because it's nothing but, like, those people with shitty JPEG, like, the lazy lion fucking shit, where it's like, oh, you literally just went into like one of those pit crew things pretty much and just kept swapping pieces out and putting them up for like 0.01 Ethereum, which is still $4,000.
Yeah.
And like people being stupid and fucking buying them.
Yep.
Like it's just so stupid, man. Like I fucking hate. I've talked about NFTs at length with people who are supportive of crypto. It is dumb.
It's dumb.
NFTs, I do crypto, whatever. Crypto is just another fucking way of rich people doing money laundering. Like, don't even fucking tell me it's not. Because it doesn't matter what you can tell me about how it's good and how it's a way to destabilize the market.
Okay, if you're going to use crypto because you want to buy drugs illegally on the internet, more power to you. I don't give a fuck. Do what you want. If you're going to buy crypto because you're like, oh, Bitcoin's an investment and I'm going to treat it like stocks. Why? Like, pick a stock that's not, like, terrible for the fucking environment. Like, crypto is fucking awful for the environment. Like, it's been studied that, like, a ton of that shit is just eats away at the world.
Yeah.
Like, invest in Enron.
Like, literally,
it's the same difference.
Stocks are the same.
Stocks are
the same with less that are and they're less volatile. Yeah. And also the stock market's fucking stupid because it's actually not good for the economy. Don't fucking I will fight anyone on this because I really actually want to have this conversation with Blake because I've done the whole capitalism doesn't breed innovation sort of thing, and Blake thinks it does. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
If you want to have a higher stock price on the stock market, all you have to do is lay off a bunch of employees because it doesn't matter about how much shit you're putting out. It matters about your profit margin. So if you're making more money because you're not paying more people,
well, and it's not even about like making more money even. To even go further than that, Ian, having a nice article written about you or like trending on Twitter can raise your stock price. Even when it's bullshit. Look how high Tesla's stock is, right? It's high. It's known to be high. Like, it can be a little bit volatile or whatever. It was affected by fucking Elon Musk tweeting that the stock price was too high. It tanked. Fucking Tesla doesn't make a fucking profit. It is, on paper, not a profitable company. Why is its stock price so high? Because it's famous. It's known.
Did you see that there's a conspiracy theory about Tesla right now?
What's the conspiracy theory?
It's a money laundering fucking thing.
Sure.
Yeah, because also it's going to be, it's on track to be the first company worth $1 trillion. Because Uber did like a deal with them. Like, they bought a bunch of cars.
Oh, yeah.
Hertz, like that fucking company, bought a bunch of company cars from Tesla. Like, billions worth. So it's like, but then also you have all these fucking news things constantly. Teslas are overpriced. They are cars that catch on fire and people almost die in them all the time. And then when they catch on fire, you just get this response from Tesla customer service. Our bad. We're not covering any of it. Go buy a new one.
Yeah. Or like,
I follow this one like OnlyFans chick who she has a Tesla. But when I was following her, all I was hearing about was her fucking complaining about how, like, her car is still being repaired for, like, a minor fender bender. It didn't look that minor, actually, but it was, like, to get the car repaired, it took, like, 4 fucking months. Yeah. And, like, then she got it back, and then it broke down, like, a week later, and she's still like, yeah, but that's a Tesla. And it's like, no, it's not. If I didn't have a fucking... If my piece of shit Chevy Cruze broke down for 4 months... or took 4 months to be repaired, I'd buy a new fucking car. Yeah. I don't even have the money to do that, but I do it.
Well, yeah, and you need your car to fucking go to work, like...
Eventually.
Like, you know what I mean.
Well, if hopefully I'd just try and get, like, a job where I can work from home, and then just fucking, like, if I had to go to, like, a place for training, like how you did, I would just Uber there. Or if it was Toronto, go bus and shit.
Yeah.
Or, you know, if Blake's around... Let's say, hey, man, can I borrow your car for like 8 hours? You're not going to wake up till later anyway.
For like 8 hours.
Yeah, or Michael.
Yeah. Could you fit in Michael's car?
Me and Michael are, like, I'm fatter, obviously. Me and Michael are, like, the same height. I think I'm, like, a couple centimeters taller.
Can Michael fit in his car?
Yeah, because he's slim.
Yeah.
I miss hatchbacks. They're so easy to drive. They're just like... Hey, I have nothing to worry about. I know how much is behind me. I know how much is in front of me. I know how much is behind me. Because it's just like this.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna be jealous. As soon as Kyle pulls up in a fucking Saturn Astro, I'm gonna sit there and be like, fucking asshole.
That's funny.
Yeah. Man, as soon as my car dies, though, like properly dies,
yeah,
I'm going back to hatchbacks.
Yeah,
they're so nice. Because my car's fucking too long.
Have you seen my car in hatchback?
Yeah, it looks stupid.
Yeah, Mitsubishi Lancers. That's the type of car I drive. They are. If you Google their hatchback, they look so fucking ugly.
Have you seen Chevy Cruze hatchbacks?
Don't they look fine?
No, they also look stupid. They look like station wagons, but they're hatchbacks.
I thought you were going to say you were going to get a Chevy Volt. I was like, ooh, Ian.
I don't know. Is that no, that's not a hatchback.
It's an electric car.
Yeah, I'd probably get an electric car.
If you could.
Yeah. If I could afford it, if I had a proper hookup. If I had my own house, I'd get a fucking electric car. Because then I'd park it in the garage and then just charge it overnight.
Plug that bitch in.
Yeah. And then if I ever had to drive somewhere far, I'd just be like, someone else drive? I can't make it.
I got 300 kilometers.
Well, I could make it to my dad's house. I would just have to be like, Dad, I need to plug my car in.
Yeah, but then you just have to be somewhere where there's a garage or a plug in the wall.
Yeah. Which everyone has a plug in their wall outside. Just get an extension cord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. And then you could flip off every gas station that you see.
Yeah. Especially since gas prices are ridiculous right now.
Fucking I know.
Yeah.
Not to be that guy who's like, gas prices.
I saw this TikTok where this guy was like, what am I going to do? Like, what gas prices don't affect me? What am I going to do? Not get gas? And it's like, well, if you can't afford
you have less money.
Yeah.
You're going to be in more debt.
If I want to fill up my car right now, it's $80.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, before it was $60.
Yeah, and it was still a little bit too high then.
It jumped up, it went from like $1.30 where like $1.32 was high,
yeah,
to like
which is already high.
$1.45 in a fucking week. I saw it at $1.50 the other day.
Fucking end my life.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous.
I just fucking, I'm gonna just
fuck oil companies.
Fuck oil companies. Fuck that it like
my government's making money off this shit.
Yeah.
You signed a deal with my government to use oil from my land that I pay taxes on, you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You should charge me much less than
You ever
this.
feel like you're just gearing up for like a political argument?
Yeah.
Like I'm like, this is literally warm up for me right now.
It's like, you know what, guys? Let's just go to the oil plants and bomb that shit. Fucking Final Fantasy VII.
Let's do I'd like my aunt and some of my cousins are over.
Yeah.
At my mom's house because it's my sister's baby shower today.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna go over there after this. So also I can't hang out tonight.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah, sorry.
Piece of shit.
Hey, these bitches live in like Port Perry. That's far. So I gotta go hang out and drink with them.
Okay.
Because if I don't drink, they get a lot real fast. But last time I drank with my aunt, got in a big argument.
Yeah.
It was cordial, but it was like, I was like, this was pre-election. I was like, I just don't want the Conservative Party to win. And she was like, nothing's gonna change if the Conservative Party wins. I'm like, yeah, but what if they did? Like, that's the fear. It's like she says nothing changed with the Liberal Party. Absolutely incorrect.
I would agree mostly.
I would say in terms for non-white people, you can now smoke weed without going to prison.
Yeah, but okay. I thought you were talking about the last election because that happened before.
No, I'm talking when Trudeau first came into power in 2015.
Yeah. I mean, like, so we've had this is the third election that just happened.
Yeah,
the last time
because he failed to table a budget.
Last time, the last election 2 years ago. That since that election. Nothing has changed. Yeah.
COVID, it has been a factor for a lot of things.
Sure.
Yeah. But like, at least we did, I would argue under the Conservative government, we would not get CERB.
Probably.
Like the
COVID, or not to the same level.
It would be the same problem they had in the States.
Yeah.
Where they were like, we need $2,000. And they're like, here's $600. And then Biden comes into power and he's like, here's the rest of the $1,400. And it's like, you're giving us the bare minimum here.
Yeah. That's like what I should be getting every month or two.
Yeah. Like, I live here and I spend money. I'm not a rich person. I literally should just that's my mom keeps getting mad at me because she's just like, you don't have a job, you don't have any income, and I'm like, well, the government pays me right now to live.
Yeah.
And to contribute to the economy by buying things. Like, none of my money goes to savings right now. And she's just like, ugh, and I'm like, well, fuck you. Like, I do more for the economy than you do by putting money in your RSPs. That one's arguable, but she doesn't know. She just thinks she's right.
Yeah. I'm like,
RSPs is at least contributing to an entire pension for old people.
Yeah. Also, well, like, RSPs are an investment. Like,
yeah.
So they invest in companies, which arguably puts money in the economy.
Did you?
Just not the local economy.
It takes so long to get to the fucking thing. And did you find out the thing on Lost Judgment yet?
What thing?
About why the big government is bad in this game?
No.
Oh, man. It is so dumb. Like, usually it's like, oh, we're just trying to keep things hidden the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's like the reason why they're trying to expose the hidden things is because they want to fuck with Japan's pension plan. That's it.
I mean, like, the CPP is alright. It could be better.
Yeah.
But also, like, I get why it's not focused on, because old people are a class that's, like, not really catered to, like, once they're that old.
Yeah, but so, like...
Because once you can't work anymore, you're not a
They want to, like, blackmail the person who's in charge of it. Mm-hmm. Because
Okay, don't spoil the fucking video game.
Because the other industry wants to just rub money all over their dick. I was about to. I'm not saying who and who. They just want to do other stuff with it.
Yeah. So the last thing that I did, Ian, in the video game is I found out what RK stands for.
Red knife.
Red knife.
Honestly, I thought it was going to be something else.
I thought it was going to be like Royal Kings or something, because I was like, they were saying like they're going Western and having English name. I'm like, that's an English ass. That's a American ass like gang name or whatever.
The Vice Kings, bro.
Yeah, right. Like shit like that.
Hang on. Something is listening to me right now, and I don't know why. Kyle, for some reason.
What? Like, what's he doing?
Like, it's giving me this, like, orange fucking microphone thing at the top of my phone. And when I click on it, it just takes me to Instagram.
Oh, are you broadcasting on Insta?
I'm thinking someone might have accidentally called or something. I don't know. It's confusing. Fuck iPhones, man. They're pissing me off for a lot recently.
Yesterday morning, fucking Emily called the group chat, and I, like, got into it and was like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, so NFT, blockchain stuff. Fucking
lame.
Stupid. Steam has banned all those games from their platform though, which is pretty poggers.
Yeah.
Hopefully Epic does the same thing, but Epic won't because they want money, and they like to think they're being forward in the fucking universe and all that.
I'm sure Steam will put it back on when one of these large companies does it, because it's a large company.
Yeah, I think what they just
we're not going to have a game by EA on fucking Steam.
But
you're not.
When a game by EA,
yeah.
When EA publishes or Ubisoft publishes a game on Steam,
yep.
Steam can straight up divert all the attention away from them. They can be like, we are Steam, we are a marketplace run by Valve Industries. That is from EA Games. You can go to them. But when it's a smaller company, it's easier for Twitter to fucking remove like a smaller idiot who's yelling racial slurs than it was to remove Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, you can say to, like, a bunch of fucking crypto bros who are in there to scam people.
Right, because it's just that the rules work differently for people with money.
Yeah, and also I'm sure they would probably want to do something through Valve where it'd be like, oh, we're going to sell this, but you can
Portal 3 NFT only.
Yeah, or, like, some shitty game. Like, Touch the Tungsten Cube virtually NFT. Where it's like, you can buy it, but they only want to sell the game as Ethereum. They don't want to put a proper price tag on it. So they would want Steam to allow Ethereum and Bitcoin to be buyable through their thing. So that's more work for Steam. And then they would want Steam to actually, like, unpublish the game, but keep the store page up.
Again, buy cryptocurrency to buy drugs. I get it, because it's less traceable. Mm-hmm. Makes total sense.
Cryptocurrencies were invented.
I'm fine with that.
Cryptocurrencies were invented for a more noble reason, and then everyone just figured out it was a really easy way to money launder.
Yeah, or not even that. Just like, oh, I could play the fucking stock market game, but with these things. Mm-hmm. And it's like, this is dumb. One last thing in the news is that
2 more things.
Well, one of those things we're going to just talk about when we talk about that thing in the week, I figure.
Oh, yeah, that's how we can just transition.
That just makes more sense.
Yeah, we'll just do that.
We'll just do that at the end. Yeah. So, one thing I do want to say. Sakurai, shut the fuck up about there being another Smash Bros. Game that might happen. Get some rest. Play your fucking PS5.
So, yeah. Straight up, there will always be more Smash Bros. Games.
Sure.
It is a money printing machine.
Yeah.
People who want to play Smash Bros. Will pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll always want more. But in the past, between Smash Bros. Games, there's at least 5 years.
Yeah.
Like Smash Bros. 1 for the N64 came out in 96. And then Melee came out in 2001. And then Brawl came out in 2006. Smash 4 came out in 2011. And then Smash Ultimate came out in 2017. Or 2018. Let me look up these dates.
Yeah, Smash 4 definitely didn't come out in 2011.
I think it might have. Maybe 2012. Oh, yeah, okay. My date, I was off by like 3 years from the beginning.
Yep.
The first Super Smash Bros. Came out in 99.
Yep. Second one, 2002. No, 2004?
2001, shit. So I was right about that one.
Okay.
So there was 2 years turnaround for that one. But that was also, you know...
That's when game development took way less time.
Yeah, because they didn't need to look as good. Okay, yeah, then 2001 for Melee. Then Brawl came out in 2008.
Okay, so that's a big gap.
Yeah. And then, 6 years later, we got Smash Bros. For Wii U.
Yep.
Which was sold a lot.
Yep.
Sucked.
Did it suck?
In the grand scheme of things, like, kind of, like, the game didn't really add much. It really simplified the whole, like, way the game was
Brawl
played.
was better.
Project M was better.
No,
Brawl's not better. If Brawl actually, you know what, I think the biggest thing when they started Project M was just to remove tripping from the game.
And you know what? It was a bad decision.
Tripping is the only problem with Brawl.
We've all, after all the years, I think we've all come to the consensus that it was wrong to hate on tripping. And I think tripping is the only thing that could make a Smash Bros. Game good.
All right, so then in 2018, so only 4 years later from Smash 4.
I'm happy. Like, most people are gonna hear me say that and like no, be like, whatever, I don't know what Nathan's talking about. Then everyone else thinks I'm an asshole. That's how that works. That's one of those things you say where it's like there is a small group of people who know what you mean, and every single one thinks you're a piece of shit for saying that, Nathan. Which is good. Eat shit, Smash fans.
That's weird. So fucking in 2014,
yeah,
Bandai Namco posted something. But they listed it for programmers for Smash Bros. 6.
Ultimate because 3DS.
That's the same game.
3DS is a different game.
It's the same though. No, it's like it's Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U. It's one game.
Yeah, but maybe according to Bandai Namco, they counted it as two.
I think they came out like 6 months apart or something as well.
So like 3DS definitely came first and has different levels.
Has some different levels, has a whole different game type that didn't survive till the Wii U version, and that pissed a lot of people off because people like that version.
Yeah.
Then we had Ultimate in 2018. So, in terms of years, so here's the problem here though. Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U came out in 2014.
Yep, but it had like, DLC until 2016, right?
I think only 2015. I'll check right now.
Remember when Cloud was announced? That was fucking huge. Like, everyone shat their pants.
Jesus Christ. Just fucking... Oh my god, I hate... Let's just fucking tell me when things came out easily. 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's 2015 was when the DLCs came out. That was their last update for the game. So that means 3 years later, you get Smash Ultimate. Sora
which means they probably finished the DLC like while they were still planning Ultimate.
Yeah. So literally, Sakurai is talking too early. He's pulling a real Bethesda there.
I don't know if he's talking too early because again, the last Smash game they started working on Smash immediately after finishing the DLC on the last one. Like, otherwise they just couldn't exist. Like, period. That game took at least 3 years to make, right? So that makes sense. So it makes sense that he's talking about it because it could mean that they're already developing it, but I think they shouldn't be.
They could be conceptualizing it.
Yeah, I think they shouldn't be doing that yet. Because honestly, fuck that.
All I could imagine is Sakurai sitting at home playing his PS5 and going on one call a day where they argue about whether or not it should be a platform fighter again, or like how they could change it up and not just make, because Smash Ultimate is like supposed to be.
It should be the last one. It should be of that type at least.
If they're gonna make a platform fighter, I think they should go a lot more in depth with it, because it's the only good platform fighter. Sorry, Rivals of Aether, you're fine, but like.
Apparently the Nickelodeon one's pretty good.
No. It's incredibly buggy. It's stupid. Yeah, it has wave dashing, but there's no shielding. There's no air dodging.
Well, just because it's a platform fighter doesn't mean it has to be Smash Bros. Exactly. Like, it could have its own vibes.
It doesn't. But a fighting game without a guard function.
Just don't get hit.
Okay, Dark Souls players.
That's not just Dark Souls. What was it? What game was that also from?
Probably Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Bayonetta.
Anything like that.
Yeah. The Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden. Yeah. There it is.
Just don't get hit, bro.
Just don't get hit.
I would say any new Smash Brothers game, we better not get a single fucking announcement until 2025. Because I don't want Smash Bros. To be... Like, the turnaround between Smash 64 and Melee is close, but that was because game development took less time.
Yep.
But then the distance to Brawl is huge.
Yeah, which means they, like, actively didn't work on one. Well, yeah, because I think Sakurai did the Kirby in between. Like, that was his last Kirby was in between Melee and Brawl.
But then since Brawl, it was, like, 6 years between...
Because he did Kid Icarus Uprising in between Brawl and 4.
Yeah.
So do a different thing. Mm-hmm. Take some time, bro. Like, you've been going ham basically since you finished Kid Icarus Uprising, just working on Smash Bros. Games for like a decade.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right?
Yeah. Also, I like what I would like for a new Smash game in the future is just still a platform fighter, because I think every single time Nintendo goes into a different kind of fighting game, it doesn't turn out very well. Just Pokken is what I'm thinking of.
Oh, well, that wasn't really Nintendo. That was by the devs of Tekken.
Yeah, it was Bamco.
Yeah, which I guess also makes Smash Bros.
But, like, what I'm saying is that we already have enough 2D fighters.
Yeah.
We already have enough 3D fighters.
Well, I was saying...
But in terms of platform fighters, it's like we have
Smash and its clones.
Smash Bros, Rivals of Aether,
which is a Smash clone.
It is a Smash clone. Nickelodeon, which is a Smash clone. Well, it's more like Smash Bros created the concept of a platform fighter.
Yeah.
So but like, you don't call Guilty Gear a Street Fighter clone.
But it's because Guilty Gear is like a different enough from Street Fighter.
Because the genres existed for so much longer now.
Right, and it's like, yeah, but Street Fighter invented, like, being a fighting game. So, like, you don't call Mortal Kombat a Street Fighter clone.
Yeah, you don't.
But we can be like,
you don't call Tekken a Street Fighter clone, which is a bigger reach.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it's just like Street Fighter invented the entire genre, and like Smash Bros is in the genre, but it also invented a subgenre, I guess. But it's like there's no platform fighter different enough from Smash to not feel like a Smash clone. Like the one by the people who made Project M that has awful art design because all the characters are like nothing characters.
The one that Ubisoft picked up?
It wasn't Ubisoft. It was just it was a solo thing. We've talked about it multiple times on this podcast. It like failed immediately.
It's not Rivals of Aether for sure.
No.
Because Rivals of Aether is supposed to feel more like Melee.
Yeah, but specifically the Project M devs.
Yeah.
Did this other one. It doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
I think their studio name was Wave Dash Studios because of fucking course.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah, because they're annoying.
Yeah, but like so in like every single Smash game, a Smash clone is all the same game.
They all feel much like Smash. Like,
it's all percentage based. The whole purpose is to like knock people off.
I would argue the closest we've gotten to one that actually takes massive changes with the genre of
PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.
You knew what I was gonna say because I started laughing.
I think one of my only problems with PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale
is you could only kill people with specials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the specials should just make it easier.
But I think at the very least, it was an original game.
It was an attempt.
Yeah, it's not exactly a Smash clone.
What I think
it's the least cloning of all of them.
Let's take a concept from PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale and let's remake it so that the Smash meter has a fucking purpose again.
Yeah,
because the Smash meter is a cool
base the game, make it a game mechanic that's like required to play the game.
Yeah.
Because, Smash fans will turn off every cool mechanic they have to.
Okay, but the problem is there is cool mechanics. You are correct. I think the Smash meter was cool, but I think my biggest problem with it is that a lot of the characters' Smashes that were, like, reworked all became, like, either, they became instant kills and shit. Yeah. Or, like, cutscene kills. The heat actions. Yeah. But I don't like that. I liked it better in Smash 4 where, granted...
They were much longer in Smash 4. They were
much longer and you could wipe out, like, multiple stocks of one person. But, like, something like Little Mac's thing. Yeah. Where you just press B near someone, you can miss it. Yeah. But it'll trap you in that, like, it doesn't put you in a cutscene. Little Mac just goes into Big Mac or whatever the fuck version of him. And he just beats the shit out of you. And if you get close, you can do damage to you. And if you're above 50%, it's going to straight up kill you. Mm-hmm. That was fine.
So you think like ones that are like the Big Mac where like it's like a temporary like huge power.
Yeah, or Mario shooting off one big fucking like fire thing that you can escape from but will also bounce you off the fucking map. Or like
Snake being able to first person shoot you.
What? Snake's is a bit rougher because it's really fast. It's like it's a long time and you can get multiple people out with it really easily. Same with the problem with like Fox and Falco and Wolf where they brought in tanks. Yeah. Actually, Wolf didn't have it but Fox and Falco where they could bring in tanks. Yeah. But that changing to, you launch them into space and then they do a sick barrel roll and shoot you a bunch. Yeah. Not as cool. King K. Rool smacking you out.
I will stand by that. Sephiroth's is cool, but I wish it had the entirety of the Meteor cutscene. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what Final Fantasy characters get the excuse to have a cutscene.
Sephiroth's thing could have been like...
It's pretty cool and he turns into Safer Sephiroth, but it's just like a picture of him.
I think Sephiroth's thing could have been cool if it was like something like Ness's thing. From fucking, I think it's still the same actually. Where Ness,
what's his thing again?
Ness and Lucas just call down like a meteor strike. Oh, where you could have had one with Sephiroth where it like zooms in with him, where he like brings down the meteor, but then like does a big slice and cuts it into like a segment, or maybe like you cut it in a way where it will cover one half of the stage or the other. Yeah, but it doesn't do both. Where it's avoidable, but it's still a good kill, like an instant kill from Guilty Gear or something.
But it should. It should also play the cutscene.
Actually, Guilty Gear... I take that back because instant kills are actually my problem that I'm saying because instant kills were cutscenes. Yeah. But like in Strive, where if I hit you with one of my super...
It's like it's got a narrow... The instant kill, you like essentially... It doesn't let you use other moves. Like you completely like... cut yourself off from your super meter, and then you get like a one hit, and if you miss, you're fucked. Yeah. But like if you land it, then like you instant kill them. Mm-hmm.
It's just like Smash should get like
high risk, high reward.
I think Smash with a meter system would be really fun. Yeah, where it's like, what if you press like you don't need but top triggers do grab, bottom triggers do fucking shield. It's like, why don't you just have right triggers do grab and shield, and then on your left hand you can have it be like, if you press left trigger and B, you do like a super version of your thing and it uses up a portion of your meter. Yeah, like. Something like that. Or also, there's two jump buttons. You can make one of those just be a super button that uses up your meter. That doesn't necessarily put you into a cutscene. It just makes you do a strong move. Yeah. Like, meters are only good in fighting games. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think there's a meter in a fighting game where it's like, this sucks.
Yeah. That's true. And I think it's... I think what I would like to see from Smash is maybe like... If we do a new one, maybe get rid of the way the shield system works.
Why?
Because it's like a block button. You know me and you. We don't like a block button.
Okay, but the problem... I understand. Now I get what you're saying. We are on the same side here. Right. But the thing is with Smash, it's inherent...
You have the possibility to be hit from all sides.
Yeah. And also remove that fucking bullshit. Also, actually, in my dream new Smash game, there wouldn't be any guest characters.
I disagree.
I think it'd be better if you reworked the entire main cast, like important Nintendo characters, and gave them more like in-depth moveset, and then we can think of DLC characters.
Well, then I'm thinking, okay, if we're going to pare down the cast that much, then it needs to be
you can't put all 100 fucking people back
exactly, right? But if we're paring it down really far to, like, just the main Nintendo crew and not even, like, Sonic or whatever, then, like, I think reinvent the fucking wheel. Like, I think
I'm not
straight up don't even do a platform fighter at that point.
Okay, but, like, think of something like Guilty Gear Xrd and shit.
Yeah.
Strive is on a different engine, and that's why there's less characters. But you can see it in fighting games now.
Yeah,
there is less characters.
When there's a new base version of a fighting game, they cut the cast significantly.
Yeah, but
I'm not against them cutting the cast.
Strive and Xrd, are still 2D fighters.
Yes,
the game I'm saying keep it remaining as a platform fighter. Keep the base controls. Just add in a bunch of new stuff and change up characters' movesets. Make them more interesting. Make them more try and actually fucking make every character worthwhile.
What I was thinking,
which they tried in Ultimate, but then it's like there's too many characters.
What I was thinking, and I think I told you this like 2 years ago or whatever. But what I was thinking of Smash is like Smash as the platform fighter that it currently is was Sakurai's take on like, okay, here's my creative vision of a Street Fighter, right? And it's like his version of Street Fighter is like of a Street Fighter type 2D fighter, right? Is Smash, which is like very different from Street Fighter, but like that's his take on Street Fighter.
Yeah.
I want to see his weird creative take on Tekken. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's the Smash version of a 3D fighter?
Arms.
And Arms slaps!
Yeah. But it's an arena fight. The only way to change it to actually make it more Tekken-esque is make it because Arms is just beat up the other person until they fall over.
Yeah, you're right. Now now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, oh yeah, Tekken, but like with more space and the ability to like platform and like use the stage is just an anime arena fighter. Like
but
like
also
a CyberConnect 2
if you want to make it more Smash, just remove the walls and make it that like a sumo-esque game as well, where if they can fall off the edge, they're right. Which is Tekken also has ring outs.
Virtua Fighter.
Actually, no, Tekken doesn't have ring outs. It has
but Soul Calibur and Virtua Fighter both have ring outs.
Soul Calibur and Virtua Fighter have them. And KOF. No, not KOF. Doesn't Fatal Fury have them or something?
I don't remember.
Because that was the weird thing, is that they had the walls up in fucking KOF.
In the stage, yeah.
Yeah, but then they break, and it's like, oh, that's weird.
I mean, is that...
or no, maybe it also has stage transitions.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Stage transitions are cool. Like in fucking Budokai.
Yeah. Do fucking... like, make stage transitions in Smash or something.
Yeah,
like, have it so that like if I smash a person in like the right direction, it kills them, but then my character and their character respawn.
You lose a stock, but the stage changes.
Not the entire stage, because that's something they did try and do with Smash Ultimate that we.
Well, that was just the stage transitions in the background, where like it would just like and the stage would transform, but there was no thing that caused it. I'm saying
do one for like say Joker comes back for some reason.
Yeah.
Do a Persona stage transition where after you beat every stock, if you like hit them in the right way, or you like hit it so that it like maybe just have Morgana like in a fucking on the sides or something.
Yeah.
If you hit Morgana, it changes to like Persona 4, and then Teddy's running on the side. You hit Teddy, it changes to Persona 3.
But I mean more like, again, like the Budokai games, where it's like if you hit somebody into the building and they crash through,
you can
like it ends the round, but like then like you start the next round of the fight like in the other part of the city. I think that's
also in Fighters.
I think it might be too.
Yeah, because there's stuff, or you know what? There's just dramatic finishes where like you can kill, like if you hit someone with like a heavy,
and like into something. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, instead of like having something where it's like, oh, instead of having the fucking like shit. Because there is that point in Smash where you can't DI back. You're dead.
Yeah.
Have it so that if you get someone to that point and you hit them, have them interact with something in the background.
Yeah.
Or Fighters where it's like you kick them and they go flying through some rocks or buildings and shit.
Where it's just like... Boo!
Yeah. But anyways, all I would really want for like Smash 6 would just be call it something else.
The Fate of the Smash.
Fate of the Smash. Fate of the Smash Rias.
Yeah.
Have fucking like redo everyone's skill like movesets. Give them more in-depth movesets.
Do an actual fucking story mode.
I don't know. The one in Ultimate's fine.
It's not.
It's fine.
It's not as good as Subspace Emissary.
Nothing is.
Yeah, do Subspace Emissary again.
Yeah, but
better, but new.
Subspace Emissary is just okay. It was just a better version of the adventure mode in fucking Smash 4. Melee. My bad. Fuck that.
Yeah,
up.
but it's like I want something like that. Like
at least Ultimate had something.
The
Smash
World of Light sucked ass.
Yeah, you can say that all you want, but people did enjoy it. There's people who didn't like Subspace Emissary. Your opinions aren't the correct ones.
Fine.
Smash 4 didn't have fucking anything.
Yeah, and
that's the
wrong.
bad one.
That's
it had
truly
classic
bad.
mode, and it sucked.
Yeah, you should have like an arcade mode, but also a fucking story mode where like it switches characters due to the story.
Yeah, a real story mode.
Yeah,
I hate Fighter Z's story mode so much. It's so stupid.
Fighter Z has a story mode and an arcade mode.
Yeah,
which is good. Although fucking Grand Blue Fantasy Versus or whatever that game
has
called,
a whole story mode.
Has a fucking beat 'em up RPG story mode. Like it's like cool. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that being said, fuck Smash Bros. And I think we can all agree.
No.
Fuck Smash
no.
Bros. What do you mean no? You even refuse to play it at parties because you hate that game so much sometimes. Exactly. So why not fuck it?
There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't like it. I'm just tired of it. It's the same fights we have every fucking time.
Yeah.
And then even now, whenever I play, I choose random, but then I go up against Chris or fucking George, and they go and pick like Captain Falcon or Kazuya, and it's like great. So I'm not having fun now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if we can like play a random game or a fucking squad strike all randoms, that's fun. Even though I tend to still be fucked over by like Chris or George in those because they're also just have their basics just better than me at that game specifically.
They're fundamentals.
Thank you. My brain was like, what is it called in fighting games?
Footsies.
Yeah. Footsies. No, not footsies. I'm
neutral.
Good. Not neutral. I'm just saying fundamentals. Like, the fundamentals they have better than me.
I'm sure everyone, if there was like another fighting party game, like if it was Guilty Gear or something, and I went super hard in on that, and I was smoking them all the time.
If you and me like crushed them every time, that's why we don't play Guilty Gear at parties.
Well, also because Guilty Gear is a lot harder to get into and requires real skill. Boom! That's not true.
But
that is true, but I'm not going to be mean to Smash Brothers like that. Smash Brothers does require skill. It's just a skill that I'm
bring out like KOF at a party. You and me fucking crush every other person.
You would crush me. I suck at KOF.
I said
one time we played on KOF 13, you wrecked my shit.
One time we played on KOF 13, neither of us had played it before, and I wrecked Ian's shit. Yeah. And that's like, I'll take that, because he wrecks me at fucking Guilty Gear every time I play him, because he's played it more.
Yeah, that was funny when you had it over. Yeah. And I think you said, like, you're playing your main. I'm like, I don't main Soul Bad Guy. He's just easy. And also because of the way the combo tutorials work in that game.
Yeah.
They don't have combo missions, unfortunately. So you don't have them until you're like in the final fucking steps. So I did play a lot of Soul with the tutorial.
I did play some of the tutorial, but I haven't played that game much.
I haven't played it since Gold Lewis Dixon came out.
Yeah, I played it like once since then.
Yeah, it's just that fighting games are hard, bro.
Yeah, and also, honestly, when I'm playing a game by myself, I'm gonna want something with a story or.
I have seen some dumbass takes on TikTok recently.
Like?
So, Elden Ring gameplay trailer came out.
People are still hype, which is fine.
I'm fucking hype about it now. I joked. I was really hard on it the first time it came out.
The first few
because
trailers.
It wasn't real gameplay yet. And I was so tired of playing the same fucking game every time. Mm-hmm. Like, Bloodborne's great. Dark Souls 3 is amazing. Sekiro is different, but still the same.
Mm-hmm.
It just added a jump button and made you have to play with only one weapon. I was like, I'm just tired of these.
Yep.
Elden Ring is a return to form. But it's now fully open world, like actually. Mm-hmm. The horse, looks like they've removed fall damage from the game.
Ooh.
You can do horseback combat. Does look pretty good. It looks like I'm gonna want to get off the horse like as soon as possible. That's me though.
Yeah.
But now magic looks accessible and not like something that sucks for 80% of the game, and then at the end you melt every enemy. Like they showed a big portion or like a 2-minute portion out of a 20-minute thing.
Yeah.
So big enough. Of the guy on horseback casting spells, and it's like really quick. Where it's like boom, 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 like you're just firing shots. Or he did a charge one where he looked like he was a fucking dude from Bleach, and he pulls out like some soul arrows and starts shooting them at people. And then they also show that the fucking like Moonlight Greatsword special move, which was like the big like sword beam thing, is now going to be a move you can just do. And they showed off that it looks like you're going to actually be able... They're actually going to make it... Honestly, Nathan, this is one where I think you would like it. Elden Ring?
Buy it physical when you get it.
No, I'm not going to.
Then fuck off.
You know Chris will, though.
I'm not going to... Chris is like up in the air. He'll do whatever, man.
He usually buys physical now.
Yeah. But like...
Because he likes to go to that
I've been burned... Yeah, he likes to go to a local
indie game store,
indie game shop. Yeah,
yeah.
I've been burned before on this franchise
yes.
/ or whatever.
Yeah, like Sekiro, right?
Yeah, not just Sekiro.
You got Dark Souls 1 for cheap though.
I spent actual money on Dark Souls 1 for the 360. I bought Sekiro full price digital.
Same.
And I think I bought one more. I don't remember.
Bloodborne?
No, you know what? It was that I think I bought Neo.
So you bought it Souls-like.
Souls.
Yeah.
I enjoyed a bit of Neo. Obviously, Jedi Fallen Order is the only one I actually beat.
Yeah, because it's a lot more fair.
Yeah, and
fun.
Yeah, fun. And it has things that aren't combat in it.
Yeah, no. So this one, it does look like it's not just combat. Yeah. Obviously, it's very focused around combat, but you can find to get items and treasures and shit, there's dudes patrolling around. There's one of the scenes is just this guy you on horseback just passively walking past this giant fucking cage with these two abominations pulling it in front of a bunch of soldiers behind. It's looks like you could go fight those guys.
Yeah, but then you can just not.
You can also just walk past. They don't even engage you. It's one of those where it's not fucking annoying like Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Where it's oh, I don't want to fight you Mongols right now. And then they're oh, we're going to fight you, though. It's fuck off, man.
Ghost of Tsushima, that at least makes sense in lore.
And, I don't know. The game looks actually pretty good. I stopped watching it. It looks like it gets to a point... it looks like it's big open world where you can fight a bunch of enemies, and then there's going to be oh, you're in the castle now. Straight line. I stopped watching there because I was watching other things and just was oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But it looks a lot better. The horse stuff looks seamless as well. You summon the horse to you. You don't have to go back and find it. It looks like a vehicle.
Nice.
Instead of it being
why isn't it like Red Dead Redemption 2, Ian, where the horse is where you last left it on the map and you also have to wait for it to come to you?
Also, I have to store my weapons on it, and then sometimes I jump off of it and my weapons don't come with me, but other times when I'm in a peaceful town, they do.
Yeah.
Nakey Jakey.
Red Dead Redemption has a great story mode most of the time.
Yeah.
It's maybe... quite a bit too long, and also fucking some things take 80 years. Although I did get in a small argument with Blake because I was I hate hunting in Red Dead Redemption 2, and he's no, I thought hunting's great, and I'm no, it's better in the first one.
How is it how is it different in the second one?
Okay, so the amount of points you would get on a hunting trip, money or whatever you get from hunting, you'd probably get about the same amount in Red Dead Redemption 2. But in Red Dead Redemption 1, you'd kill a bunch of things and you'd fuck it up. And you skin them and whatever and you take it. In Red Dead Redemption 2, tracking takes way longer. There is you go into tracking mode,
so wait,
you track the scent.
Could I break it down really easily?
Yep.
Red Dead Redemption 1 is a video game. Red Dead Redemption 2 treated like a simulation.
Almost, yeah, it's a lot more simulation-y. So you don't see as many animals. It takes longer to track them. It takes. I'm sure you've heard of how long you have to painstakingly watch the animation of him.
Oh, I remember from fucking Red Dead Redemption 1 where I thought it was too long.
Yeah, it's easily twice as long.
Yeah, because it's a cutscene. It's it's not just him going down and doing it.
It's not a cutscene in this one. It's in game.
Oh.
You can move the camera. You just cannot skip it, and you have to watch it, and he fucking slowly. It's not like other games where he picks it up and rips the skin off or whatever.
Well, you only did that with rabbits.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 1.
Yeah, but it's not like Red Dead Redemption 1 where he you literally see right?
Yeah.
In this, it's
yeah. John Marston in Red Dead Redemption 1 was whoop,
and you
whoop,
see it,
whoop,
and you see it. It's also quite graphic, which I like. I know some people probably don't like. I'm like, this doesn't need to be here. personally.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be like this. Like, I'm not personally somebody who's like, ew, it's gory, but like, I don't think you're wrong if you are. Like, it's definitely much more than it needs to be in a fucking video game, and it takes forever, and then you gotta fucking lift the thing, and you walk way slower with it, then you gotta put it on the horse.
Oh yeah, that too. I remember that.
Which is in the first game, but like, again,
well, it was in the first game for legendary ones.
Yeah, it's like everything takes like 50 times as long in this game. Like when you search a person for ammo, for example, you see your character kneel down, fucking pat around their body, and then pick something up, which could just be not an animation.
I was so
or
tired.
like you open every fucking drawer individually when you're searching a room, and it's like, why take so long?
I felt like I wish I was Kyle when we played Red Dead Redemption 2 online, like because they had that $5 version of it.
Yeah,
where Kyle would just be like, "Can I get on someone else's horse to get there?" And I'm like, "God, I wish I could fucking do that," because this game is just like it's too slow.
Yeah, like
I'm trying to play. If I'm like,
I don't mind driving the horse around, but because it's fine. But like, it shouldn't cost money to fucking fast travel in a game that big.
Yeah.
Like in Yakuza, costs nothing. It costs very little to use a taxi, and in Kamurocho, you never use it.
Well, I do in the more recent ones because like you can actually there's some where you could actually fast travel to locations inside of Kamurocho. Yeah. Where in old Yakuzas, it's like you can just go on the edges. Yeah. Like the only time I would use it if I was down near fucking like on Nakamichi
the bottom and you need to go to the top.
I was near Serena and I'm like, I got to go to the fucking
the literal opposite end of the map. Yeah. Right.
Like it's either like I'm trying to go to the homeless encampment or the Pocket Racer. Because like, those are the only two where it's like, oh, these cabs.
Back in the ones where you didn't see side missions on the map, you would just walk everywhere. Yeah. Like you couldn't run, you'd just walk, right? But like no side missions on the map, that means you're like, maybe I'll stumble across a fucking side mission on the way. Yeah. Right? Now you can see them on the map, which is a blessing and a curse because it's like makes you less want to explore, but also it's like fucking thank God I can't find this fucking guy.
Yeah, or you can even in Yakuza Kiwami 1, you can get an item that tells you where they're going to be. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I'm just
But it was it's always fun when you
there's a certain level of speed I want in video games. I don't want to feel like I'm sitting there watching an animation. That's why I don't really use heat actions and judgment because they're all too fucking long.
There's some that are really long, but I think most of them are like the right amount of length.
Still, even that to me, it's like taking me out of an engagement. It's like I think that we'll talk about it in a minute.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just some video games. I'm trying to play video games. That's it. I'm not trying to play simulations. It's like Hunt Showdown is a fun game when I'm playing with Blake and Chris, but that game is too like tactical. Because it's very slow. You can hear things very easily. There's enemies on the map that fuck you up if they hear you. Like so, not only am I worrying about people like sniping me from afar who just have like our gods at the game, I'm also fucking worried about like, oh, there's a fire guy. You're dead.
Did you play any of Deathloop yet or no? Because Deathloop has stealth, but you never feel like everything takes a long time.
Well, isn't like it's also like you stealth until you want to fight.
Yeah, like you can survive gunfights. You like you can only take a few hits because the game's supposed to be difficult, but like you can kill people quickly too. So you're like, well,
that's the best kind of difficulty in games. It's like you die quickly, but so does everyone else.
Some characters take a little bit more hit. Like the characters who you have to kill like take a little bit more hits.
Yeah. So I just want to feel like I'm on an even playing field with everyone in the game.
Your power in the game like makes
especially if the people I'm fighting are just other people,
other real people.
Like that's why I have a problem with like the legend mode and like Yakuza. Yeah, where it's like, or even any difficulty in the Yakuza games. Like I could beat the shit out of this man who is not the Dragon of Dojima for like 30 fucking minutes, and he's still not dead. But then like he hits me twice, and I need to fucking start downing staminans. It's like why like. It should be Yakuza's difficulty should just be how many hits Kiryu can take. Yeah. Not how many hits every enemy needs to take as well. Yeah.
Let's talk about the weeks.
Yeah, sure.
Do you want to go first?
Nathan, I have some bad news for you.
What?
I didn't do fucking anything this week.
Okay.
I just watched One Piece. I watched 150 episodes of One Piece
in
week.
1 week.
Sorry, 160
in 1 week.
Yeah. Okay. Well, obviously there is actually some there's 10 episodes of filler that I skipped, so 150 episodes. Here's the thing.
In 1 week?
Obviously, I'm doing...
What did you do? Fucking wake up, get a coffee, watch One Piece, go to bed. You know what I mean?
Well, no, it's he was on my second monitor.
Oh.
Well, One Piece is a very easily,
See, I can only second monitor things when I'm, playing a video game that, you can do that with. You know what I mean?
Which, pretty much everything I did play this week, which is nothing big.
Yeah, but you have to, pause One Piece when you're watching, a cutscene in Lost Judgment, right?
I wasn't watching One Piece while I was playing Lost Judgment.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm done Lost Judgment. So.
You know what I mean? But, I'm talking, I've listened to a podcast, and then when I get to a cutscene in Lost Judgment...
for the first time,
yeah,
I will never watch something else that requires my attention 24/7. Or requires me to, get... when I'm playing Yakuza 0 or something, when I was replaying it before Lost Judgment came out, I was watching stuff...
Yeah, the whole time. You can even watch stuff while you're watching the cutscenes.
Lost Judgment, Yakuza 0 for me, when I was playing it, I was skipping, cutscenes I didn't care for.
Yeah.
Whenever it was, a proper, fully rendered cutscene.
You're hell yeah.
Majima fucking around in the fucking massage parlor, obviously, you gotta watch it.
Great cutscene.
Yeah. But then,
Or really good dramatic ones, the one where fucking Nishiki points the gun at you.
Yeah.
That's obviously a great cutscene.
Yeah, I wasn't watching shows at the time. I was watching a bunch of Hassan streams, so I would pause his stream and shit. But I
love that cutscene. That's the part of the game. That's the part of the game where you're I need to fucking see what happens.
That's the one part of the game I think is improved a bit if you played Kiwami 1 first.
If you
because in Kiwami 1, you don't get a lot of time with Nishiki. It's just you are told he is your best friend. And that he cares a lot about you, and then you take the rap for him and go to prison, and then you come out and he's evil. But if you play Kiwami 1 first and see this dude's a piece of shit, and why is he really my friend? And then you go back to Yakuza 0, where it's this man literally almost tainted his entire soul, so that you wouldn't go down, and then also knew the repercussions of him doing it himself.
You clearly see how much they love each other in Yakuza 0, because he's not evil at the end of that game.
He's your friend throughout the entire game, even when you're not in the Yakuza anymore. He's still hanging out with you, despite the fact that he is told, "Do not fucking interact with this man anymore."
The scene, and that's what it's like. So for me, I obviously knew from context, just in general, Nishiki's the villain of the first game before I played 0, because I played the first bit of 4 and I knew some stuff about the series, right? Because when you play 4, it gives you cutscene. You probably saw the reminisce screen. I don't know if you watched any of it, but in the remaster, maybe they didn't put it in the remaster. Maybe they took it out. In Yakuza 4, there's a reminisce scene, in the menu, on the PS3 version at least, where it lets you watch the cutscenes from Yakuza 1, Yakuza 2, and Yakuza 3.
Oh, okay.
Or not all the cutscenes, but summaries.
So it was
the 4 parts. It's 4-part summary of all
it's
three.
The history of DMC thing.
It is, but much longer.
Yeah, but also because that's a much more story-based game, and
exactly.
DMC fucking, if you put together the cutscenes of DMC 1, it's 20 minutes long.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it has a 4 parts. To retell the story of the first 3 games, because 4 was meant to be a stepping on point. So I knew that Nishiki was the bad guy in 1 already, and I knew parts of what happened to him.
Yeah.
So then when I played 0, I was oh shit, this guy's cool. And then I played Kiwami 1, and I was oh, this is really sad because I have context from 0.
I think it goes good both ways.
It goes good both ways. Yeah. I 100% stand behind you can play Kiwami 1 or 0 first.
Yeah.
I think 0 is a fuller video game.
Yeah, because it's a newer game.
Yeah, because Kiwami 1 was not a full price video game, and it clearly seems more asset reusey than 0.
Yeah. They took an entire combat thing from 0.
Exactly.
Yeah. But about One Piece, I got 3 thoughts on it.
Yeah.
1, I'm fucking right about Zoro. He is the weakest one. He gets his ass kicked so much. I forgot I remember the scene, but I forgot how it goes down.
Yeah.
They get trapped in this cake thing.
On Big Cake Island?
No, that's much later.
Well, you didn't say which 150 episodes of One Piece you watched.
The first 100.
Oh, okay.
So there's this dude named Mr. 3, he has a candle power, and he fucking puts...
Is he Mr. 3 or is he Mr. 305?
No, he's not Pitbull.
Oh.
So he puts Zoro, Nami, and Vivi, and he's like going to make living wax sculptures out of them. And Zoro is just like he's like doing a pose, like he's holding his sword up and trying to look triumphant. And Nami's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna look cool."
Nice.
But then later he goes like, "All right, guys, I got an idea. I'm gonna cut my own legs off." The dude is constantly injuring himself. He always comes out of fights like with slashes. Obviously, he's fighting other swordsmen, but he's always super scarred up and fucked up. His powers, like, he only gets stronger by breaking his limits in fights. But everyone else doesn't look like they're breaking.
I think Zoro is that way because it's cool to get fucked up.
Exactly. Yeah, also, it's like, it's cool for a swordsman to have fucking cuts on his body.
Cuts and scars and shit.
Also, his first encounter with Hawkeye Mihawk, the most powerful swordsman in the One Piece universe. Hawkeye goes to, like, stab him in the back, and Zoro, like, spins around, and Hawkeye's like, "You're not going to defend yourself?" And he's like, "I can't beat you, but scars on the back of a swordsman are the greatest shame.
The greatest dishonor."
Yeah. So he's like, so Hawkeye goes like, "All right, I was gonna stab you with this little knife, but I think you deserve the big one." Pulls out the giant fucking black sword.
Yeah.
It's like the most powerful sword in the fucking world. Slashes Zoro across the chest with it. Somehow survives.
Nice.
He does it and then he reveals he does it on purpose because he's like, "I like this guy. I like the cut of his jib." Found out the One Piece world.
Yeah.
Their Earth that they're on.
Yeah.
It's not our Earth. It's not even close. Their Earth is like the size of our sun.
Yeah, it's much larger.
Yeah, someone did the math, and it's like Alabasta.
Yeah.
The first major arc in One Piece is 15 million kilometers wide. On their map, it's a speck. Do you know what part of our Earth is 15 million kilometers wide?
The, like, Atlantic Ocean?
Antarctica.
Oh, shit.
So a huge landmass at the bottom of our planet where you can very clearly see it, and when you're on like a flat map, it's like all along the bottom. Is like this big on the One Piece world's map. Like, I always knew it was bigger. That's the size of our sun.
It's like, my theory is that the Avatar The Last Airbender universe is smaller.
Yeah, that one makes sense. Yeah.
And also my other theory that in DC Comics universe, America has much higher population.
Yeah.
Because there's like 3 or 4 New Yorks.
Oh yeah, you're right.
There's
Metropolis, Gotham,
Metropolis,
New York.
Gotham, actual New York City.
Yeah.
There's 3, and then there's like Star City is either Seattle or San Francisco, but San Francisco absolutely also exists.
Yeah, and Los Angeles exists.
LA exists, but so does like Central City, which I don't know where in the world it should be.
Minnesota.
I think it'd be cool if it's in the Midwest. I don't know if they've ever portrayed it as having a harbor.
So also, I will know people like make that joke. It's the same people make jokes about like Final Fantasy games or even Yakuza games. Like, bro, you just gotta play 30 hours till it gets good. People say the same thing about One Piece, where they're like, you just gotta watch 300 episodes, aka you gotta get to the Water 7 arc.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy 13, you got to play after the first 20 hours. It gets good.
But like that's not true for that's not true for a single Yakuza game. It's not true for a lot of JRPGs.
Yeah, most Final Fantasies, they're good from the start.
One Piece is very childish for like the first like 20 episodes. If you're not like you don't have to watch 300 episodes. If you get to Arlong Park and like that's the fucking best. That's great. It's like the show is like, it's childish when it's outside, but then they tell the character's backstory, and it's like, oh, here's Sanji, who we know the deeper part of his backstory, which was he was an abused child who ran away from his home, but also he ran away to work on a ship and cook. Like, and he had the dream of finding the All Blue. The cruise ship he works on gets attacked by pirates. The pirate finds out that he has the same dream as him. Sanji's like drowning. The dude dives into the water to save him, and they end up on top of a giant like mushroom style rock where you can't climb down and fish, so they get stuck on there for 40 days with Sanji just having this small bag of rotten food.
Yeah.
But he thinks the whole time Zeph, the guy who saved him, has a huge bag of food, but actually Zeph is just starving himself so that this kid can survive.
Oh shit.
And Sanji goes crazy, grabs a knife, runs over, and he's like, "I'm gonna fucking steal your food, old man. Look at you, you look pathetic. Can't stop me." He rips it open and it's just gold. And Sanji realized that this old man, this evil pirate, because they had the same dream, gave him the only food supply because he was a child and would need it more. And then I found out a change from the anime to the manga. In the anime, it's the same. Sanji gets the bag of food. In the anime, Zeph just sits there for 47 days and doesn't eat.
And dies?
No, he lives. He's Sanji's mentor. This is One Piece. These are not humans. Like they're
47 days.
Yes, they are crazy.
He
people.
would be dead.
They are crazy people. They are not. It's for the drama of it. Don't think.
Why you've specifically chosen 47 days? Pick something.
No, because that's the actual amount in the manga.
Yeah,
it's 86. But the thing is so Zeph loses his foot saving Sanji in the wreckage of the ship going down. He gets it stuck in some wreckage and he cuts it off with like in a rough way, cuts off his leg.
Yeah.
To continue saving. He cuts off his right leg, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And in the manga, it's that he puts his leg straight out, gets a rock, and breaks it off at the knee,
and
eats it to survive.
That makes more sense.
That's 86 days, though. And so it's just like, that's fucking hardcore. And obviously they didn't put it in the fucking anime because I don't think kids want to see cannibalism.
In Rick Remender's X-Force,
yeah,
Angel and Deadpool are both stuck in a pit.
Oh, he just eats pieces of Deadpool.
Deadpool's feeding Angel to take care of him, and Angel's like, "How are you helping me to stay alive?" And he's like, "Don't think about it. Like, don't worry about it. I've got you." And he's cutting off little slices of his own skin to regrow it, like of his own flesh to regrow it to feed him. And it's like that's a brilliant run.
Ethical cannibalism.
Exactly. No, that's a brilliant run because it's like that's the run where Deadpool actually like does heroic things and isn't just haha I kill people for money, man. He's like, no, I am a person who has fucking like qualms and ethics about me and like care about things.
So, but like, One Piece gets good in 20 episodes. People who say 300 are liars. Except the animation is shit. It is still shit to where I am. Like, characters are off model.
It is arguably still a big ask to say it gets good 20 episodes in.
Yeah, but the thing is like 20 is a lot.
That's like 10 hours.
300. One second.
Because they're half-hour episodes, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing with One Piece. It's a kid show. Okay. So there is about 4 minutes of flashbacks at the start of every episode. Well, it's 4 minutes that you can like pretty much every episode of One Piece you can skip 3 minutes in because it'll start with the flashback sequence.
Yeah, the previously on
as Dragon Ball Z did. Mm-hmm. And it's like 7 hours. It's not like it's bad. It's just that it gets really good 20 episodes in.
I watched the first couple episodes. And it felt really long. So it felt like a long time.
Because the first episodes are longer because they have less flashbacks to tell. But every episode of One Piece is only like 20 minutes long because it's got the minute and a half long opening and a minute and a half flashback recap shit.
All I remember is he jumps out of the barrel and like the rest of the episode's boring
because it like ends after that.
The first episode?
Look, the animation in like the earlier episodes of One Piece is really
The first thing
weak.
that happens in the episode is somebody's like walks by and Luffy's like, "Hey, I'm fucking walking it."
I don't know. That's like all cartoony bullshit. Like,
yeah,
the show definitely like changes.
Yeah,
and remember, like also the show premiered in like 1998.
Yeah,
the animation's really weak. It's still on cells.
I like cells. Yes, but personally pro old animation.
There is good old animation. Cowboy Bebop, Berserk, Ghost in the Shell, Akira. But the thing is,
Akira they didn't even do on 2s. They did it on the 1s, Ian.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't that fucking ridiculous?
The thing is those shows only did like 24 episodes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, how did Berserk get 2 seasons?
Berserk? No, did not get a second season.
So it's just 24 episodes?
It's just like, 20, 24
episodes. So the
Cowboy Bebop is, I think, just 20.
Those shows had higher budgets, and they knew.
And they're not on the forever grind.
They're not on the forever grind. Where One Piece had a lower budget and needed to put an episode out every day.
50 episodes.
Every week, 52 episodes a year.
Yeah.
Like, and they've been doing it for 20 years now. Actually, 25 years. So, because One Piece started fuck, I don't know. It's either 96 or 98. Yeah. It doesn't become HD until episode 207. And then even then, they don't start really doing, like, good lighting or anything until much later. So, like, the fights, even the good ones, are more about the emotions they carry and not about the quality of them.
I watched the first episode of Paranoia Agent recently.
Yeah.
God, it's so fucking cool.
For the first time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've had it for a while, but it was like one of those where I'm like, I want to wait until I'm ready, or I want to wait until I watch it with somebody. But then I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna watch the first episode of it.
Yeah.
And I think it's great. It's fantastic. I mean, it's Satoshi Kon. Like, he's a fucking genius.
Yeah. So, you know, One Piece, it's good from the beginning, but God, is it like
if you read the manga, it's just good from the start.
Yeah.
You don't have to deal with shitty animation or filler arcs or whatever.
Yeah, but One Piece actually only has like
2,000 chapters.
1,000, but
I thought it had 1,000 episodes.
Both, because it's like they're like
because they do filler.
Yeah, that's up until like episode 500. One Piece is really good and is a good watch. After that, it's like, wow, this show slowed down.
They just make the episode take longer.
Yeah, like half a chapter of manga to one fucking episode, and then they but then they get to like a fight. And then they'll do like a bunch of like 4 chapters in one episode.
Yeah.
Because they'll do like the entire Doflamingo versus Luffy fight. But then it's still like everything around it.
The big cake comer arc.
Or they'll fucking they'll do like they'll go a little more in depth. Where fucking like Senor Pink from fucking
I feel like I'm gonna read the manga for One Piece one day. I'm not gonna watch this show because it's too much show.
That's totally fine.
It's too much TV show.
Yeah,
I can read a manga faster.
Yeah, One Piece is also a very fucking dense manga.
Oda has a great art style. Yeah. I just think
his art style now is beautiful.
And listen, honestly, it's like, am I going to turn on an episode of One Piece that doesn't start with Yayo, Yayo,
dreaming,
don't give it up.
You don't want to hear Vic Mignogna singing "We Are"?
What?
In the English dub for One Piece, which is like that's how I'm watching it. So
the current English dub? You mean not the old one?
The Funimation one. Up like for the entire first half, they did their own recordings of the songs.
Oh, they did actual like I remember they did that for a while. That was like the trend where it's like you do an English translation of the Japanese opening.
Yeah, so We Are the opening of One Piece has an English version and a Japanese version, and the English version is sung by Vic Mignogna. And
Vuk Magona.
What?
Vuk Magona.
Vuk Magona. And then I think they stopped doing it after the time skip because We Go is the one I only know from then. Because honestly, like, One Piece has some fine opening songs.
Not great
but
ones.
They're not... Well, the first one's great because it really sets the tone of the show.
Yeah.
And then the one in episode 500, like, when they do the time skip, is also great because it's a rehash of the original song. Like, it's like just a much poppier, happy, like more intense version.
I just miss as much as I love anime openings, and I'd hate for a show that I adore to do this.
Yeah.
But I miss like much shorter, completely original English opening those days.
Yeah.
I miss
Digimon, digital
monsters, Digimon are the champions.
Pokerap as well.
Pokerap, great. Yeah. Well, even the regular Pokemon theme song's great.
Yeah.
Pokemon, right? Like, people love that shit.
I miss it. I wish
it slaps harder than the modern Pokemon OPs.
Oh man, imagine a fucking English JoJo OP.
Yeah, that would suck.
Like Bloody Stream.
Yeah, like if they did a
actually
version,
I've heard some of them. They do suck.
Like, and it's not even like literal English translation, because like the Pokemon theme song is not a translation of any existing song.
No, it's an original song. Same with Dragon Ball Z.
Right, like Dragon Ball, right? We talked about this on a previous episode.
I think it was like last week.
It was like last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And like dreaming, don't give it up, Luffy. Dreaming, don't give it up, Zoro. Dreaming, don't give it up, Usopp. Whoever.
For some reason, they do Usopp then Nami, where Nami was actually the third person to join the crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, I actually think I'm just gonna continue watching One Piece on this.
And then they did the rap bit.
Yeah.
And it's like that's great. Obviously, if they did a fucking special, like, because the reason why they did that is because anime OPs are like 90 seconds long.
Yeah.
And like openings for children's cartoons in the West are like 30, right? And so they were like, do a 30-second opening, so this doesn't infringe on our ad time, you motherfuckers.
But then with like One Piece and shit, it was like they did it just because it was common to do it.
Yeah.
And then this was when like Funimation had like all their fucking casted voice actors.
Yeah, so then they did their 90-second like English literal translation.
They would go, because I think that they have a relationship with Toei, because Toei was the Dragon Ball people as well. And they like hit them up and they're like, can we just get the instrumentals for the songs? And they were like, okay. And then they just sang their own lyrics that has the same lyrics but translated in so that it makes sense.
Let's do an actual funny bit. Let's requires us to be creative.
All right, go for it.
What would the Demon Slayer 30-second English dub intro, Canadian dub intro be?
Oh man.
Because okay,
Demon Slayer.
No, it'd be like,
my family's dead.
Yeah. It's like, yo, fucking demons up in...
Oh, okay, one second. You're correct about something. Yeah. It's not Canadian, that's 4 kids.
No, yeah, 4 kids. Yo, there are demons up in here. Tanjiro's gotta deal with his sister.
Tanjiro's just trying to help Nezuko.
He's got the biggest sword in the world. That's Timmy. Tanjiro. like fake names even.
Yeah. No. I feel like Naruto had one as well.
Naruto.
Naruto had the German dub opening.
Naruto.
No, it was like it was weird. It was called the German dub, but it was in English.
Oh, so it was okay.
Yeah,
it's like how there are other like Asian dubs that are in English.
I'm gonna find it because it was a classic fucking meme.
Mm-hmm.
Naruto German opening.
That might just be like a meme that somebody made.
12 years ago, a 9-tailed fox suddenly appeared. If you believe it.
But when someone does something satirical, it's usually based off of something else.
Yeah.
But there's nothing else that sounds like this.
Yeah. I'm glad they say believe it. I'm glad they say believe it. They should.
Clan, here I stand.
That's a joke that I think is fucking hilarious in Judgment, Lost Judgment, with the Ryan the Ninja guy always saying believe
Ryan
it.
Hayabusa.
Yeah. I love him. Yeah. He's so funny. He's such a loser.
It's a good triple meta meme.
Yeah. Believe it.
Yeah.
I wonder if he says Datebayo in Japanese or if they added
Honestly,
the believe it because it's an English meme.
I think he does.
Because they did in Yakuza 0 have a screw the rules, I have money line, which means they're like somebody's cool. Although Scott Strichart, who was like the head localizer, said I didn't realize this was a reference because it worked in the fucking scene.
Yeah.
So don't always do memes or whatever and things. I know people hate it, but sometimes it's okay.
Do innocuous memes. Don't do fucking it's rewind time.
Yeah.
All right.
But if somebody was like, "Oh, I'm gonna resume time," and they said explicitly the thing Dio says,
"Zo world," though.
No, like the one he says once it's over.
Ichio keka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ichio keka. That'd be fine.
Well, that's time. I think that's saying 1 second is left.
Time has resumed.
Yeah.
Or whatever. He says something like that at one point.
When does JoJo Part 6 come out?
December.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
1 month away, baby.
And it's on Netflix, so I don't even have to pay for Crunchyroll.
Thank God.
Thank God.
I still pay for it. I don't use it, though. Alright. Do comics, because we still got a movie to talk about.
Yeah. So, new comics this week. We're going to start with the single issues. First up, New Burn by Chip Zdarsky and Jacob Phillips. It's a story about a man who works as a detective for the mobs. He's under all the mobs, and he's essentially tries to sort out problems so they don't have infighting.
Judgment.
Sort of. But it's like an old man in New York.
Yeah.
It's cool. New issue of Radiant Black. This book's still really rad. I don't want to spoil it, but it's great. And this new issue is really cool. The main character has to deal with personal issues. Ooh. It's not really any fights in this issue, which is great. It's a really cool book. That's one that I would love to just hand out to people. Because it's kind of Power Rangers-y, but it's not it's a lot more interesting. New issue of Darkhawk, issue 3. This book's really great. As you can see, somebody he knows died in this issue.
Oh no, someone's dead.
This book continues to be really cool. You don't need to know anything about Darkhawk because it's a new Darkhawk in this book. Not in issue 3, obviously. We're still telling the story of this guy. But it's cool. And I think he's going to hang out with Miles Morales again soon, which is good. Everybody should hang out with Miles Morales because he's a great guy. So Batman/Superman Authority Special. I wasn't going to pick this up because I read all of Superman and the Authority. It's over. But it's going to spin off into Action Comics at one point, but it's not going to have the same writer, so I'm like, I don't need to read it. But I picked this up, even though it's not the same writer. It's still not Grant Morrison, whom I love. And this book is like, the Authority and Batman and Superman go to another world where, like, Batman is Ra's al Ghul or whatever. He's, like, teamed up with Ra's al Ghul, and he has kids with Talia, and they've taken over the entire world. And it's like, whatever, it's fine. It's not great. I didn't love this single issue. It was kind of lame.
That sucks.
Arkham City, The Order of the World. So this is the book that I was telling you about, has the 10-eyed man, and he's on the cover here. Creepy. This book is continuing to be cool and actually has really great things, because the reason it's called Arkham City isn't just because there was a popular video game named that.
Yeah.
Shush. It's definitely not capitalizing on that. Don't know what you're talking about. But it's because, like, there's this bit with the 10-eyed man, and he's talking about, like, how, like, Arkham works and being insane is, and he's, like, crazy. But, like, you see he's got this, like, crazy board map.
Yeah.
Revealing that, like, the city of Gotham is, like, a picture of the front gates of Arkham. And so he's like, see, like, there's a reason why I know where people are going to be who've escaped from Arkham. And it's like, it's cool. It's so good. And it's like, it's continuing to be really interesting and neat and, like, spooky and fun. Human Target #1, or Book 1, rather, by Tom King and Greg Smallwood, which is a rough last name to have in high school, I'm sure.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, I heard that. I did hear that.
Okay, I was like,
but I also saw reading this tweet because Samus is trending right now on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? And some guy tweeted, says, I do not know what it is about it, but I find Samus a lot hotter in her dread suit than in her Zero suit.
Nice. Okay, Human Target Book 1, I think you'd be interested in. It's a brand new series. It's about this guy, Human Target.
And it looks like a lot of people want to hit him. Oh, those are hands. Yeah, those are punches, maybe one gun.
Yep. Can you recognize these hands?
Well, one of them's a Green Lantern for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Batman with like the weird cannon thing?
It's Batman, not with the can, but with the batarang.
Okay, who's holding the fucking? Looks like a fucking hairdryer.
Oh, that's Blue Beetle.
Okay. So Justice League members.
Yeah. So Human Target is about this guy who's like his job. He's a character who existed in the DC universe, like super obscure. But essentially his job is to impersonate people, and like if someone wants to kill them and like defend himself, obviously like get himself like he'll get shot for you, but he's prepared to get shot for you, right? And he'll disguise himself as you. So in this book, he essentially is Lex Luthor for an assassination attempt. But as it turns out, he was successfully poisoned and is going to die in 7 days. The only people who could potentially have caused this poisoning are the members of the Justice League International.
Yeah.
Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, Green Lantern, Guy Gardner, specifically. Batman, Mr. Miracle, and I think some other ones who I'm like not super familiar with. Captain Adam's one of them. And so he's got to solve the mystery. And this like book is obviously mostly set up because it's the first issue, and I think it's going to be 12 issues, maybe. I'm not sure. But it's cool. It's like really cool. Obviously, I love Tom King. I've talked about him a lot on this podcast. And this is his new book, and I think it's going to be really rad.
I love the really art. Classic,
the art's so cool.
It looks like old school comic art.
Yeah, it's really dope. If you're interested, check it out. Icon and Rocket Season 1, Issue 4. I love this cover because it says "Wanted for completely fucking up the global economy," and it's got Rocket flipping off the camera.
Nice.
Which is great. So this book's still cool. The writer of this book is very much doing things where it's like, yes, the Milestone universe is like has remnants from the DC universe in a sense, because the main villain of this book explicitly killed Superman as a baby to stop him from causing problems because he's an agent of the U.S. government.
Okay.
And they obviously want aliens to be dead.
Yeah.
And he also refers to himself as the Manhunter from Mars. Is the villain of the book.
Is it actually
He's
the
evil.
Martian Manhunter?
Probably. In this universe, yes.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. But Icon and Rocket is cool. It's like a lot more interesting than it was when I was complaining about it like a few issues ago. And it's a fun book. It's great. I like it a lot. Oh. And finally, one that I read digital it's new this week, but because I couldn't get it in stores because it got sold out.
Yeah.
Dark Knights of Steel issue 1 by Tom Taylor and Yannick Paquette, I believe, does the art. Fucking awesome. There's a reason why it's sold out. Alternate universe 12-issue miniseries, DC universe and a fantasy universe. So the trick here is Superman crash lands on an Earth in like a medieval but like fantasy times.
Yeah.
But with his parents. He's like mom's pregnant, his dad's there. We jump forward 20 years. Mom and dad are a king and queen, right? Jor-El and his wife's name, who I forget. And like Batman is a literal knight in like bat armor, right? He's got Alfred, who's his friend. He's got a team of like all the Robins who like do little like ninja shit for him while he was like walking into town trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. Black Canary is referred to as the Banshee, which is cool. She's in this. The other king who is like opposed to this kingdom is Black Lightning, who has like a version of John Constantine working under him.
Yeah.
Obviously, like Harley Quinn's the jester for the Kal-Els or for the whatever. And it's like it's a cool book. Like not a lot happens in issue 1 because it's more like this is what the status quo is. There's like a twist at the end of the issue that's like, oh, this is going to be what's happening next. But ultimately, it's a story. I'm sure Black Lightning's people are going to fight Superman's people.
Yeah.
But all in all, cool. It's a cool book. Tom Taylor's great. I like it a lot. I would highly recommend it. I'm going to see if maybe next week they might have new copies of it because it's fucking rad and I want to have it physical because it's
perhaps
physical's better. Did you finish reading the ones I gave you? I know you read the Harley Quinn, the second one.
No, I did not leave my house at all this week. I did not leave my house at all this week.
Why would you need to leave your house?
Because I don't read at home.
Oh, okay.
I have like a whole ass book I got to read as well too.
Oh yeah.
I got like this book about it's called Sellout by Dan Ozzie. It's about the grunge scene.
Oh, I've heard of that actually.
Yeah, because it's about pretty much how like there was a feeding frenzy like where labels were constantly trying to pick up like young grunge bands and shit. And he talked to like guys from like 182, Laura Jane Grace from Against Me because they were already friends. Some guys from other bands. Can't remember all of them. Jimmy Eat World I think is in it as well. So it's like if you were a band that started in like 1992 to 2007.
Yep.
He tried to interview you for the book.
Nice. That's neat.
It's like the only music writer I care about. But yeah, I stayed inside like all week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering what you thought of the Batman the Imposter.
Yeah, no, I haven't gotten to it yet.
Okay. Because I think the second issue might be out next week, but I could be wrong. Anyway, let's talk about the trade. So, number 1, we got The Scumbag by Rick Remender and a bunch of artists, Volume 1, Cocaine Finger. This is a take on the like very over-the-top spy fiction, but essentially what happens is there is a formula being done by an American spy agency that like makes someone a super spy or whatever the fuck, and it gets mixed up at one point with this like old ass drug addicted biker heroin.
Oh,
and
so he becomes a super spy.
He becomes a super spy.
Nice.
And he's like this fucking loser again, scumbag, right? And now the government agency is like, this is the only formula we had. Like, fucking, you have to help us. And so he's like a real piece of shit, but they're fighting against like, Nazis and white supremacists in America is like the big villain or whatever. which is fun. There's like, it's one of those where it's like very much written, and like this might turn some people off, but it's like very much written. It's got like the bad guys being like, oh yes, I am the bad guy, like in that very obvious way, but it's like still fun, you know?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it. While civilization crumbles, the beta throngs do nothing.
The beta
Precious snowflakes hiding in cyber worlds, complaining about film casting of corporate superheroes, or if a breakfast cereal mascot is disrespectful to transgender Native Americans. Nothing is PC enough to meet the neoliberals' lofty virtues. By design, if it did, then what would they have to bitch about? To preach their pious purity for the love of all things.
Wait, 1 second. Aren't neoliberals like the people who don't?
I know. Provided those things aren't white or Christian.
Neoliberals is like the Liberal Party of Canada and the Democrats. They don't give a shit about that unless it makes them money.
We are expected to dance to their whims, to pander to these slow-witted children's ever-changing kaleidoscope rulebook, lest we be cancelled. Well, I say, it's time we cancel them.
That's stupid.
I know. Death to beta cocks. Very funny.
If QAnon was a real person.
Yeah. Very fun. Mm-hmm. It's enjoyable. I liked it. Next up, we got Far Sector. Far Sector is rad as hell. So, picture this, Ian.
No.
Fuck, okay. Well, moving on.
Go back.
No.
Fuck you.
So, Far Sector, by the way, by N.K. Jemisin and Jamal Campbell. This Green Lantern book, but it's of a brand new Green Lantern that's never been in any other book.
Ooh, they're in a Far Sector?
Yeah, in a brand new area of space that we've never seen before in the DC universe. Mm-hmm. Essentially, big space city planet, Coruscant, right? You picturing it?
I can't. I don't have an imagination.
Oh, okay. Then don't picture it. Just listen.
I was trying my best. I'm like, could I do it right now? I can't even fucking think of the cover that I just looked at.
It's a woman. It's a black woman.
That's why I wouldn't read it.
Wow.
Go on. I'm sorry.
No, it's joke. Good. I get it. I know. Anyway, fucking big city in space, Coruscant type deal, giant city. In this place, there live 3 races: people who are basically elves, people who are plant people, and people who are AI people. Mm-hmm. Right. This place, like all these races went at like ages ago, went at war with each other for a long time and decimated the entire world. Also, there was like another race that was like tyrannical to all 3. Doesn't really matter. Well, it does matter, but it doesn't matter for the pitch. So now they have like a emotion hack where it's like all the people in this place have been hacked to like reduce their emotions level. So they say like they have no emotions. They don't. That's kind of the point, because like it's a bit of a propagandized thing, but they have a lot lesser emotions. So then this Green Lantern gets sent out there because like it seems like something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And as it does, it turns out that they have their first murder in 200 years. So now it's a murder mystery, and it delves into the politics of this strange place and all these peoples, and like might go all the way to the top.
Yeah.
Right? It's a cool 12-issue book, really well done, super cool, and again, very smart that they're like it like takes place in the DC universe, like it's not like not canon, but like because it takes place in a place and with a character that we've never seen before, it can be basically completely standalone. Like you don't need to know anything other than like what a Green Lantern is, which I can just sum up in 2 words: space cops. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a Green Lantern's a space cop. Same with Nova.
Yeah.
That's what they are. Yeah. It's a cool character, it's a cool story, and I think it's great. Next up we got Batman the Man Who Laughs. This is actually a collection of a few different stories, not just The Man Who Laughs. Man Who Laughs is a cool story about like kind of retelling the first time Joker shows up in the Batman universe. So it's like basically takes place between year 1 and year 2.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, this is the first time Joker shows up. It actually pays homage by the end to like the actual original Joker story from the 30s, which is cool. Mm-hmm. But in between, it's like a cool detective Batman story that works. It's like early Batman stuff. It's pretty good. They also had Batman Gotham Noir, which is an Elseworlds that takes place in a Gotham City 1948, featuring private detective Jim Gordon trying to figure out a murder that happened. And that's really cool. The ending's quite good. And a few issues of the actual Detective Comics from the same writer, storyline Made of Wood, which is a serial killer story that delves into the fact that the original Green Lantern was a Gotham City hero, Alan Scott, before it was like a Green Lantern Corps. Yeah. Just Alan Scott, who got his powers from like a train crash or whatever.
It's not like a chemical touch.
He wears red. And it's not involved with the Green Lantern Corps. He's just a Green Lantern that operated out of Gotham back then. And so it gets into one of his villains type deal, and kind of smartly tries to reconcile the DC universe of the 2000s and the one of the 40s, which is neat. It's a fun little 3-issue serial killer story. It works. Finally, I know there's so much. Finally, we got Guardians of the Galaxy by Donny Cates and Silver Surfer Black, which happens at the same time. That's not in this collection, but it's happens at the same time. I told you a little bit about this off podcast before, but essentially the pitch for the first half of this book is Thanos is dead, killed by Gamora, and we got to figure out who the fuck because Thanos downloaded his brain into somebody. Yeah. So we got to figure out who it is and kill them. And so Eros, Thanos' brother, also known as the hero Star Fox, has gotten all of these cosmic Marvel characters together to figure it out. Yeah. He's saying it's Gamora because she's the one that killed him and she's his daughter. It makes sense. He has access to her. And so he sends a bunch of people out. Some people don't want to kill Gamora, and they become the Guardians of the Galaxy. They join Peter Quill. Eventually they wind up there. Others do want her dead, and they're kind of referred to out of universe as the Dark Guardians. Okay. They're never really named as a team in the book, but I think on Twitter the writer referred to them as the Dark Guardians. Which is a fine... I don't think that's a great name in universe, but out of universe to describe those characters works fine. Most of them are heroes still, and also a good chunk of them Silver Surfer ends up time displaced in the past, and then he does Silver Surfer Black, which has him both get an upgrade, and it's the first time we've ever seen Null since Thor, which led into the King in Black crossover. Yeah, which is cool. And that's a great story. This is also a great story. It's a very different take on the Guardians. It's really fun. There is a bit once Gamora comes back to the team, which is funny. She makes fun of how Peter Quill names his ships after pretty women from Earth. So he obviously there's the Milano. Then he has one called the Rider, named after Winona Ryder. And then he's gonna name the third one. He's trying to come up with names, and he's lists off a couple actresses. And then Gamora is is there no pretty men from your planet? And he's ouch. And she's no, I mean, you name them all after pretty women. And she's fine, I'll give you a list. And then a couple scenes later, they have a new ship, and it's called the Bowie, which is great.
It's a good one.
And so it's a really good book. Donny Cates, great writer. And this is a very different take. It's really rad. And it's only 12 or 13 issues, and that's the entire book. And then it tells essentially 2 storylines, because there's also a part with the Church of Truth, or whatever the fuck they're called. I forget what they're called. Hold on, Universal Church of Truth. That's it. And yeah, it's cool. There's lots of great character stuff in here. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to talk about Eternals. Yeah. So me and Ian saw Eternals together on a date,
as always.
Yeah. The waitress tried to fucking flirt with me while me and Ian were clearly on a date, and that's fucked up.
Yeah. So we saw Eternals. Came in. We knew about the Rotten Tomatoes score before we went and saw it.
Yep.
We also saw the fun news that the movie is banned in Saudi Arabia.
And it turns out that's because there's a gay Arabian man.
Yep. There's a gay man who speaks Arabic.
Yep.
And he also says, my mother wouldn't appreciate you talking like that, which implies that his mother, who is obviously a woman from Saudi Arabia as well, is totally fine with her son being gay. and not getting stoned to death. So
oh no, yeah. So yeah, so the Eternals. Yeah. So at first I was trying to figure out like, is it? I was saying to you like, oh, it must be a China thing. Right, like that's why
I read
that's
some
why
of the
score's so bad,
and I don't understand.
But I've been reading reviews, and I'm like, oh no, people actually like actively, earnestly didn't like it.
Yeah, there was people who say that like they were like it tried something new, and it's honestly bad, and it's the worst, and therefore it is now the worst Marvel movie ever. And it's
I've heard people I've seen people saying like it's really slow, and maybe it's just because I saw Dune.
Recently we said that as we were walking out of the theater as well.
I was like, this is not a slow movie. There's an action scene in the first scene.
There is.
He punches a monster in the first scene.
There is one criticism I saw where I'm like, that's fine, still doesn't deserve to put the score this low, which is the flashback sequences.
That it like messes with the pacing of the film?
It doesn't, it kind of hurts the pacing. Not the beginning, it's fine. There's one where it's
later on, it's like things are happening and we are doing flashbacks.
Yeah, there is one where it's like they're like expressly like going somewhere, and then it flashbacks to Babylon, and it's like, why are we in what?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, all the things are supposed to be related, but or like also the flashback with Druig at the fall of Babylon or whatever
is like one of the most important scenes in the movie.
It's very important, but also it kind of just
it interrupts something that also feels important.
It interrupts something, but then they don't go see Druig.
Yeah,
it's like that scene should happen on their way to seeing Druig.
Yeah,
but instead it happens
earlier,
way before.
Yeah,
it's like it's just there is pacing issues. There is like it's I wouldn't say it's slow.
That scene happens when they're on their way to see Athena and Gilgamesh.
Yeah. Rip in peace, Don Lee.
He's great.
King.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I didn't realize. So he's the main guy from Train to Busan.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's a fucking tank of a man.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So pacing thing, I understand. I don't think it's 50% bad.
No. Well, okay, remember though, Rotten Tomatoes is not...
It's an aggregate website, I know.
Yeah, so it takes every review as a yes or a no.
Yeah, but then also you have to...
A 50% doesn't mean the movie's bad, it means the movie's divisive.
It means 51% of the critics do not like it. It has an 86% audience score.
Really? That's surprising.
It has a very high audience score. Audiences are enjoying it. The one thing I've seen from people on Twitter who I follow who have seen it, they think that the jokes fell flat and weren't funny, and I think they don't understand comedy because those jokes were great. Everything Kumail says is funny.
Yeah.
The big baby mesh, hilarious.
That's funny.
Where Don Lee looks down,
and he's a big baby man.
Obviously, straight up spoilers for the movie. They're all having a nice dinner together.
That's in the trailer.
Is it in the trailer?
Yep.
Yeah, remember there's stuff in the trailers I just did not pay attention to.
Yeah, so the dinner scene is in the trailer, but it's not. You don't know why they are having the dinner.
They're having dinner to discuss that their squad
Ajax
leader mom is dead.
Ajax.
Ajax. I thought there was a P.
No.
Those British people. And then they're like playing around. Gilgamesh makes a joke
about not giving Sprite alcohol
because
she's supposed to be like a 12-year-old.
Yeah, she's like eternally young.
She's eternally 12 years old.
Yeah.
A lot of people said that part made them really uncomfortable.
Because you know what the concept brings up?
Yeah.
It's a 7,000-year-old lolly.
Yeah, it's similar to that, sure.
She in her mind, she is an adult woman.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I think I actually broke this finally.
Oh, that's fine. At least it wasn't one of the ones that are important.
Yeah. Well, I'll just put it down here and there we go.
Yeah, you did break it.
Yeah, I did. I can now break this one. No. I should just like start bringing shit the fuck with my hands.
Just bring a fidget spinner.
No, and I look like a millennial.
You are.
Yeah, so you can be uncomfortable by it.
I don't think it's... I think, honestly, perhaps it's just me and what I've seen. This is not the first thing I've seen that's like, feel bad for this person who is an adult stuck in a child's body but has all the needs and wants of an adult.
Yeah, but then also...
it's not done in a way where it's like, you should look at her and feel sexual.
But still, it's not like she acts upon them. The one man to hit on her where his like hand like shifts through her, she's like... walks away.
Well, she's trying to flirt with that guy in the bar. Like,
was he? It kind of just felt like she was standing there.
No, she was like flirting with him.
Whatever. Sure, okay.
Like, which is fine. Like, I get it. I'm like, yes. She's an adult.
In her brain, she is an adult woman.
Like, the actress is 14. So, like, obviously they don't sexualize the actress, which is good. I'm pro that. Don't sexualize the actress.
It's not like, she
fucking Invincible had a similar storyline.
Yeah, and Invincibles is like...
Could arguably make you more uncomfortable, because it, like,
but also,
more
arguably,
sexual.
if she just took some years off... I think we talked about this after I watched Invincible... If she just stopped becoming a monster for a while, she could, like, age. She could, like, go in a period where she's like, I work and then I don't work. Because she does... It's not like it stops her from aging and traps her there and she's, like, eternally like that until she just becomes a reverse baby and dies. She ages outside of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That whole thing. I don't know what they end up doing with that character. Maybe they kill her. I don't know.
I'm sure that they probably will.
Eventually.
Like, it's going to be like, she's too powerful. She's the fucking Hulk, but with a negative. And then she's just going to, like, overuse her powers, get way too young, and then just decide to die in battle or something. You know, it's... that one in Invincible is a little different.
Yeah.
Because she has the urges of an adult, and it's more explicit in Invincible. Like, in Invincible, she might as well have just said that one point. She's like, I want to get fucked, but no one wants to fuck this body, and the people who do, I don't want to fuck them.
Yeah. Yeah, like, yeah.
Yeah, and then you get to fucking, yeah, but this one, it's like...
It's a lot more tame than that, so I don't think...
I think it's because there was multiple relationships going on between the Eternals in this one.
Okay, one thing that I really appreciated, and I don't know how the public felt about this. I like that this movie is like, it's not to be that guy who's like, this one's more mature, but it is more mature. Like, it deals with, like, love and sex and relationships for the first time.
It's an ensemble cast where when they are together, feel like they are actual friends
that know each other,
that aren't like obviously there's that one scene in Avengers 2. In Age of Ultron.
Great. This movie is that scene as a movie.
But then you don't really get anything close to that again in Avengers.
No, yeah.
Until
we've done little mini moments between the characters in the movies since.
Yeah, there's that one big scene in Avengers Endgame where they are like trying to figure out like how to do things, but it's like all work. There's like the one deleted scene joke where they shave Rocket Raccoon because he was being mean to them. But it's like like there's little moments, but it's nothing as big as them all together being friends.
Yeah, and that's part of what makes the TV shows so interesting, because you actually get to explore the relationships.
Yeah, or it's like how
characters.
The thing with Druid, with Druid and what was the fast girl's name? Makari, where it's like they're kind of like they were the most childish ones. Where Druid is like he's using his powers because he doesn't like violence. He's just like. I can take away people's free will.
Druid, I think, has like... I think Druid represents like the way the movie talks about like the interesting morality of like being ancient and or godlike.
I also think it brings up the concept of the whole like...
If you could stop wars from happening, but it would by removing people's free will, would you do it? And he goes, well, I'm going to start a cult, and I'm going to try to stop the wars, and I'll take control if I need to, but I'm not going to actually do it on like a full world scale, because like that would be wrong. And I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then you got Fast Girl, who's like
Makari
is like, they're not supposed to steal from humans, but she
took a bunch of shit.
That was funny when they go back to her ship and she's just like stolen shit.
You know, that's an actual deaf actress playing her, right?
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah,
there was no way no one else would be able to do that fucking yell she does at the end.
Yeah, the one yell where you're like, that's just a deaf person.
Yeah, without it being like, oh,
sounding
great, thanks,
like
that's offensive.
Stupid. Yeah, exactly. So
like me doing that yell, it'd be like, I'm not even gonna do it because it'd just be like, wow, what an asshole.
Yeah. What have deaf people done to you?
Yeah. I think it's funny that Cersei, one, her name's Cersei.
Yep.
I understand that name has existed before.
Yep.
But the fact is that she's dating Icarus.
She's dated two Game of Thrones actors.
Yeah, also, I thought who played siblings in Game of Thrones. Spoilers, they're cousins.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like her type is just men from the United Kingdom with like handsome, with like cheekbones and
dark
handsome
hair.
jaw. Yeah. Well, Icarus is more light, and also doesn't even like a strand of like white in it or something.
Like a fucking
I feel like
Reed
there was
Richards.
comic bullshit in it, but
Nope.
it was pretty subtle.
That character's blonde.
No, I know. I'm saying like comic bullshit and like who the fuck has one white streak of hair like that shit. It just looked subtle and it didn't bother me until I like looked up one time. I'm like, oh yeah, that's there.
Yeah,
like it's ignorable. Like
this has
I'm
probably
fumbling.
the best cinematography of any Marvel movie.
Chloe Zhao. It's
Yeah,
like,
and like shot on
I
location.
went on this like long rant with fucking Anthony, or like this long conversation where I was just like, I don't think cinematography should factor into like your personal enjoyment of the movie. Like if it boils down to if you enjoyed the movie just because of the shot compositions and all that. Like if it's a well-made movie, but the movie like you think the plot sucks, I don't think cinematography should raise the rating of the movie.
I think it should.
Like I'm saying, you didn't enjoy watching the movie at all.
Like
anyway, my scale my scale is how much you enjoyed it.
Yeah,
but I would like you to consider that if your only enjoyment of it is that it looked pretty.
No, but like. Movies are a visual
This is
medium.
a stupid argument.
Yeah, I know. Like I'm trying.
This is why I had it for a while with Anthony, and I pretty much just boiled down to I just want to know if you think the story's good.
Yeah, but that's like a movie is more than a script. You know what I mean?
I'm aware.
Like I think relying too heavily on the script is something Marvel movies do too much. Mm-hmm. Because like just sometimes you need to show not tell, and that's one really big issue with this movie is it's very exposition heavy.
I think
it kind of needs to be because of the thing that it's trying to say.
I have one glaring issue with this movie.
It's that they fucking mention 2 DC Comics characters in the movie.
No, not at all. It's that oh
man, I'm like way out of frame.
Yeah, you keep adjusting yourself.
I'm like trying to find a good
So
spot.
I think the when the deviants first show up and you're in that bit, you're in a very bright space.
Yeah,
they pop and it looks good. Mm-hmm. When they fight the deviants in the forest,
they're very dark.
It's very dark and it's very rough
Hard
to
tell
see what's going on. Yeah,
yep.
That's when it became like a Transformers or a fucking like DC movie.
Yeah,
like that's the one because there was people saying that where it's like, oh, this looks like a DC movie.
Yeah, it looks like it has like the visual. It's like a little bit more in some scenes, like closer in visual style to Man of Steel.
Yeah, so just the parts in the forest and Thena's like final fight. Thena's final fight up against the Smart
cave?
Deviant.
Yeah.
That's at least supposed to be like they're in the darkness.
Yeah,
and it's hard to see. And also, like you can do like a whole thing that's like, oh, she's like the last sane part of her mind in the cave is her despair or whatever. Like all her past memories flooding in.
Yeah.
And then she overcomes it because it looks like she's fine at the end of the movie, which is good because the people who are left on that fucking ship with her are not the ones who can beat her.
Yeah.
Until post-credits shows up.
Yep.
Just the part in the fucking
the forest. Yeah, the lighting was a little bit rough.
It's rough to watch. That's about it.
Yeah. But I think the movie overall is quite good. Like I enjoyed it. I totally get what some people are saying where it's like this movie is dragged down from having to be in the Marvel universe, like because it's
that happens with a lot of Marvel movies.
Yeah, its vision soars over that in a lot of ways, but it doesn't. You can't live up to it because sometimes it just needs to like pay off on the past or like set up for the future.
Yeah, at least this one is like you're obviously setting up for the future and all that, but they're straight up like this is if you just know the events of the other movies.
Yeah,
like there's Marvel movies where it's like if
this movie ended before like the ending, like. The last thing that happens in the movie where like the characters leave, like if it ended with Jon Snow and her talking, like without her leaving,
and not
like
her
that,
pulled
I would
away.
be totally happy. Like, yep, this is a done story, and we'll never see these people again. Like that's fine.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And then the opening of the next movie was her getting pulled away or something. But then
or just like no, like honestly, like I get why they set it up, but I'm saying like there didn't need to be an Eternals 2. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, they could have just done it as a one and done.
Yeah, like I don't think there's, like, a single character in any of these movies that I'd be like, oh, I'd really want to see them interact with another already established character. Like Eros, like, I don't fucking care.
I think Eros is cool.
I think he's cool, but, like, I'm saying as, like, a character that exists, I get he's Thanos' brother.
Yeah,
that's kind of important. But like,
he's also a space adventurer named Star Fox.
Yeah, he's Star Lord, but actually
Star Fox.
Cool. No, but I mean he's Star Lord, but cool. So therefore, Star Fox. It's all these characters are like B-listers.
Right, yeah, the Eternals...
Where I know Marvel is filled with, like, if you're not Spider-Man or related to Spider-Man, you're like a B-lister. But
these characters are D-listers because the Eternals is one of these things. If you, like, look up all of the appearances of the Eternals, you'll find that, like, Jack Kirby in the 70s, like, writing the original The Eternals, which I think was 22 issues. I could be wrong. I didn't finish reading it. But, yeah, there's the Eternals from Jack Kirby. And then, like, some of them make one-off appearances in, like, Thor Annual number 3. Yeah. Or, like, whatever.
Because Kingo has that one line where he's like, Thor is my friend.
Yeah. Kingo's Japanese in the comics.
But now he's
Indian.
Yeah. Well, actually, I know it's Bollywood, which is India.
Yeah. But it says Mumbai.
Mumbai? Yeah, but that's just where he is. Well, you know what? He's a being from space. He's just supposed to look brown.
Yeah.
Like, for all we know, they just, like, looked at
Kumail is from Pakistan.
Yeah.
This character, it lives in India and is an Indian man. In Indian cinema. Yeah. Which tends not to happen for people from Pakistan in real life. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Pakistan and India were one country at one point.
When?
Like, I don't know.
Sure.
Some British motherfucker drew a line. And that's why Pakistan is a different country from India.
Okay, that's dumb.
Yeah. Listen, there's so many... The British motherfucker who drew the line never went there before.
Yeah.
He was somebody's kid. Like,
they didn't end up in, like, a fucking war about it.
They did. They
At least we're not currently in a fucking war about it.
Yep. And Pakistan and India get along incredibly well to this day.
That's not true, though, right?
You have to ask.
I can't remember. Like, so much of America's shit.
Ian,
okay.
I'll give you a break on it. It's not something anyone in a history class would have told you.
Okay. And also, so much of America's, like, bullshit propaganda that reached out to Canada and Canada's shit, where it's just like, the Middle East is a hotbed. And I'm like, oh, I guess it's just, they're all fucked up. It's just
bad out there.
Or it's like, they don't hate each other, they hate us. You know, that shit they do.
Man, it's just broadly bad in the Middle East. I wonder why.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough for them, and it has nothing to do with the countries that I live in or near. Mm-hmm. But yeah, then in like 2005, there's Neil Gaiman's run on Eternals, which is like super also important. It's like the Jack Kirby run, the Neil Gaiman run, and then there was like a 2008 run on Eternals, and like a one that just started a couple years ago, and that's basically it, because those characters like. They are not superheroes. They are characters that just kind of like do cool mythology shit, which is cool. Neil Gaiman's run is all about the Eternals like forgot they were the Eternals, which is like a cool pitch. And I figured that's what this movie would be, but it's not. They like didn't realize, so they have to figure out. They realize like, oh shit. I didn't read that one either because I'm gonna read it after I finish the Jack Kirby one. I just haven't finished it. I'll probably talk about it on the show. But yeah. It's a cool movie, and then of course in the post credits, first of all the characters leave, but in the post credits we get to meet Eros, aka Star Fox,
yeah, and
his friend Pip the Troll, played by Patton Oswalt.
Yeah,
and I think those characters are going to be fun. I don't know if those characters needed to be Eternals.
Galaxy's characters.
Yeah, they're
like, I literally, if they showed up in Guardians of the Galaxy and like a random scene, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
Guardians 3, yeah, absolutely, like. They are in this movie because Eros and Thanos are technically Eternals.
Yeah, they have not. They
in the comics, at least.
Yeah, they haven't defined that in the movies because the Eternals have come up now.
Yeah,
and it's also the Eternal. Like,
it arguably doesn't make sense that Thanos is an Eternal in the films.
Yeah,
because like they said that the Eternals like hit specifically Eros being like I'm Thanos' brother. It's like the Eternals are all robots that are like. Not effectively related to each other.
The only possible way I could think of it is that Thanos is like a weird Eternal.
Yeah, well, he's born with a deviant gene in the comics.
we theorize. I theorized this in the theaters where I'm like Thanos and his Eternal brethren were sent to Titan, not because there was a seed there, but a deviant never showed up, so they just showed up later on, and then Thanos was in a desperate plea to like. Or, like, maybe Thanos never found out he was an Eternal or something. Maybe it was, like, an experimental version of them.
Yeah.
but they didn't define that. So now it just looks like Thanos was sent to a place where the entire purpose of it was to be deleted. Or maybe we're going to find out that Thanos is fucking snapped to get rid of 50% of the intelligent life, or everything, every living thing, wasn't just to get rid of... it wasn't because of overpopulation. It was because he didn't want any more Celestials to be born or some shit.
Yeah, well, they said, like, the thing was stopped by the snap, or, like, delayed, but then everybody snapped everybody back.
Yeah.
I don't know. It does feel like a retcon. Like, even though it's not, because it's true from the comics from years ago, I believe.
I think it would be funny if they retconned it as, like, they were two dudes, like, Thanos is not...
They were both Eternals, and they just refer to each other as brothers.
Or Thanos is not an Eternal, he's just a weird deviant. He's like an intelligent deviant from his home planet.
He killed all the other Eternals and sucked them. Like, the one guy sucked them, like Kronos.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that the smart deviant's supposed to be Kronos. Sucked the guys to get their powers, right? He sucked all of them on his planet except Eros.
Yeah.
But then they were brothers. They're like, we're friends.
Or maybe Eros betrayed the rest of the Eternals because he found out about it, and then
he was like, I'm pro Thanos and I love genocide.
Or so here this is how it could possibly have gone down. The Deviants came back. Mm-hmm. They killed a couple members. He got to the point where he was semi-intelligent but was still kind of fucked up. Mm-hmm. And then then Eros finds out the truth, but the rest of the Eternals don't want to, are like fine with how it's going to go down.
So he tries to stop the destruction of his own planet, much like the characters in this film.
So then he uses Thanos as a deviant to kill the other Eternals. He absorbs them, and now Thanos becomes like this figurehead in the country, in like on his planet.
Yeah.
Where he's like, we need to cull 50% of the population, not because of overpopulation, they obviously still had overpopulation problems, but also because he knew it was going to happen with the Celestial inside the planet core.
Maybe.
So then Titan could have a dead Celestial inside of it, or one that will never wake because it can't sustain life anymore.
Yeah.
So that
could be it.
That's better than them just being like, oh, they're Eternals, and they just didn't follow or their planet blew up, or like something happened
because everybody on the planet died or whatever.
Yeah, but Thanos clearly had a love for the planet, so it's like,
yeah.
Or he could have been like,
they were stupid for not
Ajak.
listening to me.
He could have been like their Ajak and was just like, he was like totally fine. He was like tried to figure out how to let the planet continue on before the Celestial popped out.
Yeah.
But then they all got into war and died, and he was like...
And there was a big famine or whatever.
There's tons of reasons, especially since it's like clearly Eternals aren't just robots. They have their own thoughts.
Yeah. They're not literal robots, but they're like figuratively robots.
They're
made of machine parts.
They're bio-androids.
Yeah.
They're androids.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still think Kingo fucking not participating in the final battle and just showing up at the end of the movie is
wonder if that was like COVID procedures, because I know they shot like the most of the ending after COVID.
Like,
so I wonder if it's just like he wasn't able.
Maybe because of like his wife, he couldn't leave the country or something. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I was thinking. I don't think Emily Gordon has a fucking disease that. What is it?
Isn't she? No, She is like probably somebody who would be considered like a
high risk.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I think she does have a lot of issues like
the Big Sick. She like was in a coma or whatever.
Yeah, but that was, I think she got hit by a bus.
I thought it was a medical issue.
You know what? It might have been. I can't remember. I never watched The Big Sick. I just remember hearing the actual story when I listened to the podcast. Yeah, me too. I didn't
watch the movie.
Yeah.
I want to. I heard it was really good.
I heard that it's really good, but then I also hear people turn around and be like, oh, whatever, fake bullshit. It's like, bro, that happened to them. It's like a real story.
That's funny. But yeah, and then second post-credit scene, so Dane, Kit Harington's character, goes to get his sword, the Ebony Blade.
Yeah, because he is the Black Knight.
He's the Black Knight.
I love that joke, though, when he's like, you told me to call my uncle. I did, and turns out I have some secrets too.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
That's a great line. But then he's like reaching out for it, and it's like reaching out to him.
She got zipped away along with the other people who were left on Earth, so like...
Yeah. And the sword's reaching out to him, and then all of a sudden, from behind,
Yeah, some guy off camera talks to him.
Yeah, and you know who that is?
No.
Mahershala Ali as Blade.
Oh, he's Blade?
Yeah,
that's great.
You didn't know? It was announced ages ago that they were doing that Blade movie with him, like before they were even a movie plan.
Yeah.
Like, it's not in the phase plan, but they're like, we're doing the Blade movie with Mahershala Ali.
That's good.
And so that's his first appearance in the MCU.
Oh, good. Oh, it sucks that it wasn't on screen.
Yeah, it's
Love
annoying.
that guy.
It's annoying because it's like, I didn't recognize the voice. And
Me neither, because he has like such a different voice every single time he shows up in something.
In any movie.
He's very good at that.
He's a great actor. Mm-hmm. It's not like when they had, Jonathan Majors, he showed up at the end of Loki, and it's like, oh!
Yeah.
And they were like, it's not actually Kang, it's He Who Remains, but it's basically Kang, and it's like, oh!
He will be also playing Kang, and like, it's...
And like, they're referencing this, and
there's
it's
different
like,
versions
it's important.
Of it. Yeah. Yeah, so honestly, Eternals, I know I said it was in the top half. Yeah. I would just say it's mid.
It's mid. Yeah. It's not bad.
It's mid for a Marvel movie, which if you're a film asshole, you'd probably be like, oh, so bad.
It's dog shit.
It's shit, because the best Marvel movie is still like a 0 out of 3. Like, I hate film people sometimes. Like, yeah, I know I'm
like, I agree that like the best Marvel movie compared to like something made with like heart and not for a capitalist, like, cynical
Thor
money-making
Ragnarok
reason.
is not better than What We Do in the Shadows.
It's not better than What We Do in the Shadows.
That's
what We Do in the Shadows is a better movie.
Yeah,
like,
no, for sure. But then also,
I love Thor Ragnarok.
But then also, like, this one's up to argument because they are still the same thing. Mm-hmm. Kingsman is better than Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Yeah, sure.
Like, they're both spy thrillers.
Yeah.
Like, nothing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is the best of the subgenre they're doing.
Yeah. Like, I would agree with that. Like, Eternals is almost like a watered-down Marvel take on Dune, like that type of movie.
Every 10 out of 10...
And I think Dune's a better movie.
Every 10 out of 10 fucking Marvel movie is, like, actually an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, or like a 6 to 7 out of 10 of, like, something made...
No, I mean the best ones. Like, the best ones, if you think they're 10s, they're actually 8s.
Exactly, yeah. It's like...
comic book movies have a different scale because we know they're fucking TV shows.
Because the MCU is this big TV show, and it's like it's all made like on this, in this very factory way where they're made for like to make money and to make you want to watch the next Marvel movie and like buy the products and whatever. And I enjoy Marvel movies. I enjoy Marvel comics. Like, I enjoy the characters. I think the movies are good. But I'm not so like blinded by enjoying it that I'm like, oh yes, this fucking factory made Marvel film is better than this film that somebody worked their ass off for 5 years to like put out because they loved it and cared for it.
Yeah.
Like, Marvel movies don't create new filmmaking techniques. They don't do all these they don't do risky shit. This movie is the riskiest Marvel movie, I would argue. Because people fuck in this movie.
It's not the first... Actually, in Thor: The Dark World, there is that camera technique they use for shooting the Valkyrie. Like,
no, that's Thor Ragnarok.
Which one did I say?
The Dark World.
Why do I keep doing that? Because I was yelling about how like we all have to retroactively go back and give the Dark World worse reviews.
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok, they have that camera technique.
You're right. Yeah,
that was the first new thing, but it only was put in there because of Stu, the guy from What We Do in the Shadows, who is friends with Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Exactly.
Everything else is the same.
Which isn't... You're right. Like, it's like, not to... And, like, that doesn't mean that there aren't Marvel movies that I like more than some movies that are, like, made by an auteur. Like, I like Marvel movies more than most Christopher Nolan movies, because I don't like Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
But, like, I think in general, you're going to see, like... if you're somebody who watches just Marvel movies or whatever, like, there is a world of better, more interesting, more risky, more, like... special things out there that like do stuff with the medium or like are made with love and care.
Not really in the superhero genre though.
Not in the superhero genre.
Yeah, that's the like if you want to see like a drama or an action, yeah, for sure.
Or sci-fi like, or whatever.
John Wick has better action than like any fucking Marvel movie.
Yeah.
But that's also because they will willingly kill people and show him kill people, and sometimes it's really fucking brutal. Same with like in Nobody, where the fucking part where Bob Odenkirk cuts open a guy's neck because he collapsed the top of his windpipe.
Yeah.
And he cuts open his neck and puts a straw through so he can breathe, and they make you watch him do it like up close. And I'm like, I hate this. I love this movie, but I hate that part.
Yeah. But I mean more like, and there are like superhero movies that do feel like a little bit more like auteur or like somebody like more from the heart. The Suicide Squad, pretty clearly, like it's a much more of somebody's vision than most Marvel movies. Birds of Prey. I was also going to say Birds of Prey. Very much somebody's vision.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians. Like, yeah, that's a Marvel movie, but yeah, like
it's a Marvel movie, but it was like it felt at the time when it came out, it felt a lot more different.
That was like a big risk Marvel took, and they were like, "Oh, people actually like this." Okay, and then they didn't take another risk for
risk
like
they took
5
from
years.
the guy who made a live-action Scooby-Doo film.
Yeah.
I know he's made other things. I just can never remember.
Slither.
Them. A horror movie.
Super.
A movie about bad superheroes.
Like a fucked up psychological thriller with a superhero. Comedy. It's also a comedy, but it's also a psychological thriller.
Eternals
is a good movie.
It's like a 3.
Stop shitting on it.
3 out of 5.
It doesn't deserve the shit that it's getting.
It deserves it. I think it deserves at least like 70%.
Yeah,
I think critics. I think some of them are just being like, there's like a guy who gave it a low review because they're like, the comedy's not as snippy as it used to be, and it's like
that's good.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's the best part.
These people actually seem like they like each other.
Yeah.
I will say, like, to give it credit, there's not a lot of movies where you introduce an entire team of hero characters and you get their personality and you get that they like each other.
Yeah.
Like, everybody was like, don't do that for Justice League. And Justice League, only half of those characters are debuting in that movie, and you still don't get a lot from them, except for in the 4-hour cut, and even still.
Yeah, in the 4-hour cut, you kind of get Aquaman a bit more.
Yeah.
A guy who already got his own movie.
Yeah, right, but like, you get the same amount you do for the Flash. We already knew Wonder Woman. You get a bit more for Flash because of the scene where he like sexually harasses that woman.
I wouldn't say that.
That's what everybody was saying. Is like
he doesn't touch her in a weird way.
He does. He fucking like brushes her hair.
That is weird.
Yeah,
for sure. But it's not sexual harassment.
It's arguable.
Sure. I always, when I think of sexual harassment, I think of the parts you don't touch unless you are fucking.
Well, sexual harassment doesn't even need you to touch somebody.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
But when you do to harass somebody,
yeah,
and sexual harassment vocally, it's normally because you're commenting on their like their tits or their ass or the vagoo or how many cocks you can fit in that mouth, baby.
You can sexually harass a man too.
How many cocks you fit in that mouth, baby? You dick. You have the other things.
But yeah. So, but like, yeah, it took a 4-hour cut. Meanwhile, this 2.5-hour long movie.
Yeah.
Introduced all these brand new characters, all these brand new things, and yeah, it's a little bit exposition-y. The pacing's not perfect, but like
some of the flashbacks happen in a weird way.
Exactly. But like, I think it's a very like
there's a child who wants to fuck an adult.
That's fine. That wasn't a problem.
Yeah, not a problem.
It's not a problem for me.
Yeah, 4,000-year-old lolly. Am I right, fellas? I love Bakemonogatari.
Yeah.
That snail girl's actually been dead for 10 years, so actually she should be 20, so it's fine.
Actually, I like always jerk off to Gargara.
She's 9,000 years old. Actually, I think she's 900.
She's 9,000.
Oh, is it? Ina,
she's like ridiculous.
Is like just a full-grown...
She's an adult woman who happens to have no tits.
Yeah.
I think it's funny how like chuny all of the new Hololive characters are.
Yeah.
They're like so like, I am the...
They're in character the whole time.
Yeah.
But I think that's because they're new. Because like I
like Council. Council's great actually. Like they've started like getting comfortable with it.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying is that they feel chuny because like when Watson first showed up, she would make like jokes. She would always like come in where it's like, he's using my spyglass. I'm just looking around for clues and shit. It's like, shut up. Yeah. Or Guro was like the only one who came up immediately. It was just like,
yeah. But yeah, anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching and or listening. It's a 3-hour podcast this week. Fuck me. Anyway, if you want to get more of the podcast, youtube.com/NAScomedy. You can see our beautiful faces and bodies and butts. Hey. I don't know why I did that. If you want to follow me, I'm at The Media Hole on Twitter, at The Media Hole on TikTok, and at twitch.tv/TheMediaHole. I'm also at www.whenyourballs.get stuck to your leg.tumblr.com. If you want to follow Ian, he is at StrugglesV on everything. He recently came under fire for selling a 380p JPEG of his dong as an NFT and making 4 Ethereum, which is a lot of money. It doesn't sound like a lot.
That's like $200,000.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a lot, but he made 4 Ethereum on it. But then he invested that Ethereum into
Lazy Lion JPEGs.
Lazy Lion JPEGs, and he lost everything and is actually in an immense amount of debt. So thanks so much, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.